The following is a presentation of Born Braves Baseball, the 2009 Cape Cod League champions.
The 2021 season was a year of unprecedented success for the Born Braves.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and the Born Braves are off to a perfect 5-0 start in 2021.
Oh my goodness, the Braves do it again! Win number 20 in the most dramatic fashion.
0-1 and Wallace sends a drive into left field. The Braves have won it!
After a 24-9-3 regular season earned the Bravos the President's Trophy, the Braves battled all the way to the CCBL Championship Series.
Swing and a miss! For the first time since 2017, the Born Braves punched their ticket to the big dance.
But the team came up just 2 games short.
Brewster defeats Born in the championship series of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Now, as the calendar flips to 2022, a slew of fresh faces come to Doran Park, including the man in charge.
The Born Braves have hired Scott Landers as the team's new field manager.
And with him comes just one returning star.
Smacked into right center, that's going to get down. The 4th RBI for Joshua Moylan.
But that doesn't mean the Braves aren't loaded from top to bottom.
This one taken high and deep to left. Is that going to get out of here? Jumping up, it's gone!
And swings, broken bat, lofted into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Swing and a miss, strike three.
It's a brand new full season of Born Braves baseball, and it starts right now.
Fresh off their second consecutive win, the Braves return to Doran Park to face the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the first time in 2022 at 5-4-2 on the air. We welcome you into the broadcast booth. I'm Max Tanzer, joined as always by Calvin Cristoforo. And a big 4-2 win over the Firebirds last night for these Braves. Did a fantastic job on the pitching side of things and manufacturing runs as well.
Yeah, a real complete performance from the team last night. We mentioned the 3 sac flies they had. That was really big because we've talked all season long about this team struggles to produce runs when runners are in scoring position. 3 sac flies and an RBI single with 2 outs from Chris Brito. The defense really sharp. No errors again. Back-to-back nights the Braves have put up a 0 in the error column. They remain undefeated at 3-0 when they do that. In the pitching, Garrett Edwards came out of the bullpen through 4 innings, allowing just 1 run. Nigel Belgrave shut the door to complete a really good start by Cade Grundy. I think overall that was probably the Braves' best start-to-finish victory.
Something that they hope to build off of here tonight against a Hyannis Harbor Hawks team that has been very, very good over the last couple of days. 3 wins in their last 4 games. We mentioned the Braves have won 2 in a row as well. They're using a dominant arm tonight and Ty Good. Yeah,
this ain't your big brother's Hyannis Harbor Hawk team. Look, a squad that was 17-60-3 over their past 3 seasons has started this campaign 5-4-1 and very talented at the top of the lineup and the rotation with Ty Good, who we're going to see tonight. The College of Charleston right-hander can really throw the ball. A first-team All-CAA selection this season for College of Charleston. It has 2 really good appearances on the Cape. In an 8 1/3 inning of work, allowed just 1 run. You're going to see a good fastball. It's not going to blow you away in the mid-80s, but he has a devastating 12-6 breaking ball that could be a struggle for the Bravos offense tonight.
He's going to look to get some run support from a red-hot offense that has also averaged just under 6 runs per game in the last 4 contests. So we got a good one as these 2 teams are as even as it gets here in the Western Division of the Cape Cod League. We're going to take a quick break, but make sure to stay tuned as the fastest 15 minutes in baseball is on deck with Ethan Frank and Mac Friday before the Bravos right after this.
Missed the biggest part of the game? Don't worry, the Bravos have you covered. Catch the Call of the Game on the Braves Twitter at Born Braves to hear the night's biggest moment. From big-time strikeouts to crazy web gems, game-winning home runs, and more, whether you hear it for the first time or you just want to relive the magic, the Call of the Game will bring back the best moment from the night that was.
Free. It's a word you don't hear often, but it's the only word in the Cape Cod League. Every single game on the Cape is free, which means you can bring the entire family, extended family, and the extended family for no charge at Doran Park or to any other game on the Cape. Catch the best collegiate summer league in the nation for absolutely no charge all summer long.
Cape Cod League Baseball is back on the New England Sports Network in 2022. NESN will feature 5 Cape League games on its airwaves this season, the first of which comes on June 30th when the Braves take on the Falmouth Commodores, and then the NESN crew comes to Doran Park on July 21st when the Braves host the Wareham Gatemen. All Cape League games on NESN start at 7, and the station will also feature the league's All-Star Game. It's the best summer baseball in the nation, and it's live on the same station as the Boston Red Sox all summer long.
First pitch is right around the corner. Now back to Before the Bravos, the official Born Braves pregame show.
Welcome to Before the Bravos, the fastest 10-minute pregame show you will ever watch. Ethan Frank and Mac Friday with you on a hot and steamy evening here at Doran Park. Happy Saturday, Mac.
Happy Saturday. I feel like I'm back in Houston with this weather. It's really warm here today, wiping the sweat off our brows. Just trying to stay cool. We've been spoiled by this weather, and it's coming back to bite us today.
We apologize for the confusion. Yes, we have switched from our normal seats. But don't worry, the content will be the same. The energy will be the same. Before the Bravos will change nothing, except that I am now on the right and Mac is now on the left. So let's get right into it. And I think the big news tonight is that Josh Moylan is back with the Bravos for his second season and getting the start at first base tonight, Mac.
Absolutely, and I know Calvin is very, very excited. He's one of the only carryovers from that broadcast team last year, and we're all new here, but Josh is not. And so you got to think maybe he'll settle in pretty quickly here at Doran Park, be comfortable. It's his first start of the season. Really exciting for him. Excited to see what he can do. And it's good to have a familiar face around for Bravos fans, I'm sure.
Especially with the momentum coming off of last night's 4-2 win over the Orleans Firebirds, the Bravos' second straight win. What do they need to do tonight to get to 3-0? Do you see last night's method or formula being able to be successful in the future? You know, you're not getting a lot of big hits,
right.
Not a lot of extra base hits, not a lot of flash at the plate, but good solid base running, good defense, and just all-around solid team play.
It was clean, and it was technical. I don't think you can win games entirely throughout an entire season with just getting 4 runs on 6 hits. That's not a methodology for success. But you will see wins like yesterday come in with success. Runs scored by sac flies, singles, and no real extra base hits, no home run balls, no triples, only a double or two on the board for the Bravos. But like we talked about, clean defense, solid pitching throughout. You need to try to carry that on, but keep the bats rolling a little bit better. You're not going to I wrote in my post-game article, 450-foot home runs, 100-mile-an-hour pitches. That's what really shine amongst baseball. That's what people gawk and they goggle and they gaze at. That's what they like. But technical victories still happen, and that's how the Bravos got it done. I wouldn't necessarily say that's the way they're going to continue the rest of their season and continue to win games. That's not the way you want to win games, but you'll take it. A win's a win.
Exactly. And moving from last night to tonight, the Bravos face the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the first time this season, one of 2 West Division teams they have not faced yet. And it's the first division game that we've mentioned since all the way back last Thursday. I mean, it's so long.
It's really been a while. We've been on this East Coast road trip, some home stands in there. Talking about yesterday, today as well. I mean, Western Division back in town. Good to get some interdivision play, get some reps against teams that you're going to see with like the Harbor Hawks. You're going to see them 5 more times this season. Get used to it.
Yeah, and the West Division is really interesting because obviously you have Katuitt off to an extremely hot start. The Kettleers did lose.
They lost.
They lost first game of the season last night. So when you look at this division, I know you have the standings written down right now. What do they tell you a quarter of the way through the year?
It tells me Katuitt is a wagon. Bourne has some serious potential at 5-4-2 if they get rid of the mistakes. And we've been spoiled by watching them every single day, so we obviously know the Braves a lot better than any other team. But it also kind of shows that the rest of the division is competitive. Hyannis 5-5-1, Wareham 4-6-1, Falmouth also 4-6-1. If one team goes on a run, another team slides, you could see some serious jostling in that division with Katuitt just kind of staying at the top if they continue to play the way they are.
100%, and the Bravos are going to have to pick things up against West Division teams if they want it. I would say at this point it's comfortable to predict that the Braves will be in the playoffs, as 4 out of 5 of these divisional teams will make the postseason. It's just about where they end up in the standings. But enough big picture talk. Let's bring it back into tonight's game and talk a little bit about Cade Boxrucker, who's getting the start for Bourne tonight. What can you tell us about him?
The Campbell Camel, he's going to go after guys. But
you a fan of camels?
I think it's one of the coolest mascots in the NCAA,
You think so?
and especially with the run they put on this year, that was really cool. I got a soft spot for the Campbell Camels. Cade Boxrucker, Ty Cummings on our roster here at Bourne. But nonetheless, Cade Boxrucker against Harwich, that was one of the division victories that the Braves went out and got on the road. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. But here is the key figure: 0 walks. This has been a staff and a bullpen that has been haunted by their inability to minimize walks. They have walked so many hitters and given so many free passes and free opportunities to opposing hitters. Cade Boxrucker, not really that kind of guy. He's not a major strikeout guy either. You'll see plenty of balls put in play. Hopefully that defense continues to be successful. Nonetheless, was one of the more productive starts from Bravo's starting pitcher. Actually made it through the 4th inning. Kind of broke that 4th inning curse in between a couple bad starts from Adam Tulloch, Bryce Cunningham here and there, who allowed more earned runs than just one by Cade Boxrucker.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Boxrucker does tonight. But I want to talk a little bit. The name Cade.
Yeah.
I feel like before, let's say 2019, I had never heard the name Cade before. Now there are multiple Cades on the Braves. A man named Cade was the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft just a year ago.
Yep.
Why do you think the name Cade is so popular now?
I think like you said, it was different. You didn't hear it much before 2019. Now it's sprouting out. It must have made one of those little YouTube videos, top 10 baby names or something like that, and just everybody bid on it. So we got Cade Grundy, who's the starter yesterday from Louisville. We got Cade Boxrucker today. Are there any Cades I'm missing? I believe those are only the 2 Bravos Cades.
I was thinking.
You're thinking Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham.
Yes, but I believe those are the only 2 Cades that are Bravos on the Bourne Braves team this year. But nonetheless, K with a K, Cade Grundy from Louisville, and K with a C, Cade Boxrucker from Campbell. So, yeah, a lot of Cades.
A lot of
back-to-back Cades.
Hey,
like back-to-back strikeouts, back-to-back Ks. Tonight, back-to-back Cades.
Mac, you're too good.
There's a reason I write words.
Going back to the lineup, Matt Shaw actually at third base tonight.
Yes.
We've seen him at short. We've seen him at second. He's flawless pretty much everywhere. What do you expect from him at third tonight?
Well, your guy, he was fantastic last night. I believe 3 for 4. Yes, 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a double. Was responsible for several of the Bravos' runs last night. He was my defender of the quarter. Go read the players of the quarter for the Bravos out on our website now. Nonetheless, Matt Shaw, the defender of the quarter, had only played 4 games, 3 at second base, 1 at short. This is his first start at third base thus far in the young season. And he leads, or he was third in the league in putouts at second base. I can only imagine the production he could have at third in just 4 games.
Yeah, speaking of the Bravos lineup, you've got 2 guys back in the lineup tonight who haven't played in a couple of days, and that's Bryce Eblin and Evan Slight, a couple of left-handed hitters. So some interesting changes being made by Scott Landers.
I think this Braves team has possibly the deepest and best middle infield on the entire Cape. You got Matt Shaw, who obviously is playing third tonight, but has shown at second base. Then you have John Peck, who's tremendous defensively. The bat really hasn't been there recently, but Lane Forsythe, another defensive force. Then you also have Bryce Eblin. All 4 to 5 of those guys have been pretty tremendous, and a lot more room for improvement for all of them. Excited to see what Bryce could do today. And then Evan Slight comes back in the lineup, a solid lefty bat. He and Chris Brito have showed that they can stack hits and bring each other in. So hopefully Slight sheds off a couple bad performances before he was benched, and he's back in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, Duffy getting a rest tonight. Elijah Nunez still not playing, dealing with what he told me is actually a bruised heel
Correct,
right now.
yes.
He told me he's getting better every day and is feeling really good today, but that it's one of the weirdest injuries he's ever had, because it's even hard to imagine like your heel being bruised. It's not something you think of that even could get bruised.
It's tough because you think about that heel. There's the Achilles tendon. There's a lot of stuff that could potentially go wrong, but nonetheless, I don't know if I've ever injured my heel. Have you ever injured your heel?
No,
It's a weird place to injure, but you can see how you might do it sliding into a base with the base swiper that Elijah Nunez is. Nonetheless, still, it's an odd injury, but hopefully he's back soon. I think I've talked to him a couple times. I think he's coming back soon, and the Bravos could certainly use him with the lack of stolen bases and the lack of players who steal bases on this team.
100%, and going from the hitting to the bullpen, the Bravos have used a lot of their arms in recent days. Obviously, you have Boxrucker getting the start tonight. We saw great length out of Garrett Edwards last night. Nigel Belgrave able to come in and get the save. So who's available out of the Braves pen, and what do you expect to see tonight, Mac?
Just 3 guys today, Ethan, out of the pen, so Cade Boxrucker is going to have to go a little bit of a ways. So the long reliever.
If I had to guess, I bet Scott Landers is hoping for 5 innings tonight from Cade Boxrucker.
I think that's about accurate. And if Boxrucker gets roughed up, there is the long relief option in Seth Keener from Wake Forest, who has made various starts for this Brave squad. And then you got 2 pretty electric arms that will probably come in the later stages to close this game out, and that's the lefty from Vanderbilt, Nelson Berkwich. And then you also have Mason Pelio, the flamethrower, who I was also talking to bullpen catcher Ben Montag. He was telling me that Mason Pelio has the hardest thrown recorded pitch on the Bravos staff this year.
At what?
97.4 miles per hour. So Pelio, the flamethrower, he's an option. Probably you'll see him later in the game come in maybe for a late game save if the Bravos are ahead, or keep the game close along with Berkwich. And if Cade Boxrucker gets roughed up, expect to see a long outing from Seth Keener out of the pen.
Exactly. What do you expect to I guess it's hard because it's a Hyannis team that we have not seen yet. We played a lot of games recently.
Absolutely.
We as in the Braves.
Correct.
That have been against teams you've already seen so far this season. So if you're looking for one thing out of the Bravos to do well tonight, what would that be?
Keep up the clean streak on defense and the strong pitching report. That's all you really need, because the bats will come around even if it is a technical game like it was yesterday, or if they explode. Maybe we're still hoping for that first Bravos home run here at Doran Park, potentially.
I think tonight could be the night.
You think so?
I think this weather really promotes home runs because it's a little warmer, and when it's warmer, the ball flies further.
And the joints don't really get stiff on the players. They have the ability to free the hands and really go through without having any negative consequences of getting it up on the toe of the bat, or if a stinger or something like that. So that's not really on the table. I would agree. This could be a really good opportunity for that first Bravos home run.
I think if this weather was in play last night, that ball that Alan Espinal hit to left field, the ball that Jack Hurley hit to left field, both of those might have been out of the ballpark.
They were laced, that is for sure.
I've been really impressed by Hurley's play so far.
Jack Hurley,
such a hard worker.
Absolutely.
It feels like every time he tries to make a throw in the outfield, he's doing everything he can to put every single ounce of effort into that throw, and that's really impressive from a guy of his caliber.
I feel like that's just how he is in general as a player. You see him do that in the batter's box with his swings. He is so powerful. He swings the bat so hard, and if he ever barrels it up here at Doran, you could see it go a long way.
I think him and Matt Shaw are very similar in that aspect.
I completely agree.
Always swinging hard like that as well.
Shaw, we've seen him come alive, really. He had that home run against YD and then a sombrero of strikeouts to pair with it. But 3 for 4 for performance. I talked to him after the game yesterday. I was like, do you feel more comfortable in the batter's box? Because the change to wood bats is difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. So, nonetheless, I think he's starting to feel more comfortable. He told me, I am feeling more comfortable. I am feeling a lot better with the bat in my hands. I'm starting to get to know the guys a lot better. So, hopefully that continues to build on his success.
All right, that will do it for Before the Bravos. We'll be back tomorrow before our game at Brewster. Calvin and Max have the rest of the action for you for the rest of the night. See you tomorrow.
Joining the players on the field during the national anthem is Boy Scouts Troop number 3 from Torrington, Connecticut. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Embrick.
Scott Landers is the new man in charge in Bourne. The new Braves field manager is in his first year at the helm with the Bravos and brings with him an exciting staff that includes World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia. It's an exciting new regime of Bourne Braves baseball, and it's a team you're going to want to see for yourself. Go to bournebraves.org for the full schedule.
Tomahawk Talk is the official pregame and postgame analysis of the Bourne Braves. Hosted by the Bravos broadcast team, Tomahawk Talk provides pregame insights on game day on what Braves fans can expect to see that night. And after the game, the crew breaks down the matchup that was and looks ahead to what to expect tomorrow. It's Tomahawk Talk, and you can find it on game days on the Braves YouTube site, as well as at Bourne Braves on Twitter.
Cape Cod League Baseball is live. The Bourne Braves are in action.
Live from Doran Park, the Braves take Doran Field for the second consecutive evening, looking to win their third in a row as they take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the first time this season. The Braves entering at 5-4-2, just a point ahead of the Harbor Hawks in the Western standings as they sit at 5-5-1, having won 2 in a row as well. Let's take a look at the visiting lineup announced by manager Eric Beadle for Hyannis tonight. Leading things off will be Mitch Jebb at third base. Tito Flores will follow in left field. Justin Janis, the first baseman, will hit third. Cole McConnell, the center field, will clean up. Nolan Shanuel, the DH, will hit fifth, followed by Christian Moore making his summer debut, batting sixth at second base. Pancho Ruiz, the backstop, will hit seventh. Dominic Patelli, the shortstop, eighth. And Philip Matulia, the right fielder, will round out the nine. Max Tanzer joined alongside Calvin Cristoforo.
Hey,
and Calvin, I know, how we doing today? How we doing today? It's a good day for baseball, a beautiful day for baseball, just about 78 degrees, the sun shining, not a cloud in the sky, as Cade Boxrucker takes the mound for what will be his second outing of the year, his first start, make that his second start. His last outing was against Harwich, went 4 innings, 1 run, it was earned, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, he was really good against that Harwich team. He got the start. That's a really good Harwich bunch. We marveled before the game out at White House Field how talented that Harwich lineup was. But he got through Brock Wilkin, the MVP of the Cape Cod League from a season ago, All-American and Jake Geloff in the outfield, and put together 4 really strong innings, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, struck out 2. And he is really sharp, and the thing that works for him a lot is that slider. This season for Campbell, his slider was a 46% whiff rate. So that is his go-to pitch to get guys out. He's going to be fastball, he's going to be slider. He only threw 1 changeup in that game against Harwich, so he's a 2-pitch guy. If he controls both, he's dominant. If one of them is not if he doesn't have a feel for one of those pitches and becomes a one-pitch pitcher, that's when he runs into trouble.
And this has been a Harbor Hawks offense that has really swung it well over the last 4 games. They've won 3 of those contests, again averaging 5.75 runs in that span compared to their first 7 games of the year, averaging just about 2 to what was a really slow start. For Boxrucker, that fastball will sit around 92 to 94, topped at 96 this spring at Campbell. That slider 82 to 85. That's the big swing and miss pitch for him. So he's ready to go as he takes the first base side of the rubber for the first time here at home at Doran Park. He winds his fires. His first pitch is taken down and in for ball 1, and we are underway. Your defense tonight behind Boxrucker will be Evan Slight, Jack Hurley, and Carson Roccaforte left to right in the outfield. Matt Shaw over at third base after seeing him at second yesterday. John Peck and Bryce Eblum up the middle. Josh Moylan, he's back for his second round through with the Braves. He's at first base, and Ryan Leach will be your catcher. Next pitch misses inside for ball 2, 2-0. And Calvin, I'll ask your thoughts on Josh Moylan because you were here last year in 2021.
I'm excited.
The only returner here in 2022 for this Braves club from 2021.
If you hop on the broadcast early and catch before the Bravos, first of all, if you don't do that, I don't understand what you're doing because you're missing a lot. But if you are open, Braves have one returning star, and that is Josh Moylan. Great to see him back in the lineup tonight, playing at first.
Evan Slight has that played perfectly as he makes the catch a couple steps towards his left field for out number 1.
And he was a guy that got up to a really slow start last season. The numbers are going to tell you he had a 180 batting average, just 1 home run, 11 RBIs for the Bravos in 2021. But he got hot down the stretch. He had a home run. He was seeing the ball very well. The thing about Josh is he'll take ball 4. This guy likes to walk. He had a good number of walks this season for ECU. Took ball 4 here in a Braves uniform, so he is good at doing that and getting on base. Hopefully we get the second half of the year Josh Moylan in the 2022 Braves uniform.
And he'll be manning first base tonight, so half a day off for Chris Brito, who has been there every single day this summer so far. Again, he'll get the start in the DH spot this evening, batting 4th. So here is Tito Flores, the left fielder out of the University of Michigan. The 0-1 pitch is skied into shallow left. Here comes Slight, slow jump for him. Shaw going out as well into no man's land. This one will drop foul for strike 2, so the count jumps in favor of Boxrucker at 0-2. Flores off to a good start, has been swinging it really well the last couple of days for the Harbor Hawks. 11 for 34 overall this summer, hitting at a .324 clip with 2 homers and 3 RBIs.
And his Maryland teammate Clark Elliott, who some Braves fans out there might remember, was a Harbor Hawk last season in 2021 and actually led the Cape League in batting. So a couple of Michigan guys for Hyannis in back-to-back seasons. If he's anything like Elliott was last season, he can be a real tough guy to get out. He's been that way so far this season, tied for the team lead with 2 home runs. You mentioned his .324 batting clip. So Michigan guys love the blue, the maize and blue for Michigan, and then the blue and orange here for Hyannis.
He's behind 0-2 as Boxrucker looks for his first punch out of the night. Here's his pitch, well outside of the backstop again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I mentioned Flores has been swinging it well as of late over the last week. 7 for his last 22. That's a .318 clip. All of his 2 homers coming in that span as well, and the 3 runs batted in. Was a DH for the most part at Michigan this year, but got some time out in the outfield as well. Hit .276 in school ball with 11 home runs. This one's hit high in the air, fairly deep left center. Hurley towards his right. He's going to make way to the left fielder, Evan Slight, who's been tested a couple times early on tonight. He makes that catch with ease. 2 up, 2 down for Boxrucker.
First baseman, number 13, out of Illinois.
You look at Boxrucker's splits, fly ball, ground ball, line drive. Last game actually against Harwich, he was right around a 38% line drive rate, which is interesting to see. That doesn't mean the balls are hit very hard line drives, but right around 50% fly ball, ground ball guys. So you can see the first 2 guys have flown out, but that's not a trend he usually works into.
As Justin Janis will jump on the first pitch and slap it in the left field for a base hit. So Janis stays hot, now 10 for 37 on the year. So that's the first base run of the night for the Harbor Hawks. He takes that one the other way, 1 on with 2 down. And we'll see what the approach is against Boxrucker tonight. Again, went 4 innings back in his last outing against Harwich. Averaged just about 50 pitches per outing in school ball at Campbell this year. Tough year for him, 7.15 ERA. Opponents hit .299 against him. Also surrendered 22 walks to 36 strikeouts and 34 innings of work. Here's Cole McConnell, the center fielder. One of the biggest bats in this lineup. Here's Boxrucker's first pitch. Fastball knee high for strike 1. 0-1. He broke the Louisiana Tech single season record with 76 runs batted in this spring. That was good for 13th in the nation in total. In fact, on 21 occasions, he drove in more than 2 runs this year. Quick move over to first base. Back in safely goes Janis. He's 7 for his last 14. Has driven in 3 runs so far here early on in the summer.
Guy flat out rakes Max. Also led Conference USA with 25 doubles this season, so a really good hitter. Boxrucker has to be careful even with 2 away in the inning.
The 0-1. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. Count evens up at 1-1. For the Braves yesterday, it was quite a gutsy performance from their pitching staff. Started with Cade Grundy, who went 4 innings, allowing just 1 run. He would toss things off to Garrett Edwards, who made the start last Saturday against Orleans, so just a week ago from the day. This time, Edwards going in relief. So the 1-1 is down and away. Check swing appeal to second base as he did not go. 2 balls, 1 strike. And then, of course, if Scott Landers knows that Nigel Belgrave is coming into the game in the 9th inning, things probably sound like they're in a good spot.
Yeah, he's been really, really special this season. Another save last night. Came out of the bullpen, worked around a 2-out walk, but got out of that inning unscathed. He is great because he throws from that kind of 3/4 style arm slot, and his 2 pitches just work perfectly from that release point. He has his slider that cuts across home plate like a frisbee, starts at your hip and finishes in the outside corner for a right-handed batter. And then the other pitch is a 2-seamer that runs in on the hands and is broken bat central when that pitch comes in on you.
I would love to see a Rob Friedman pitching ninja overlay on those 2 pitches right there. Because like you said, they're tunneled perfectly and break very dramatically to the opposite edges of the plate. Here's the 3-1. Fastball misses up and away for ball 4, so McConnell will take the walk. First and second with 2 down. Boxrucker, who walked nobody in his last outing, walks his first hitter of the summer here. So that's going to set up a spot for Nolan Shanuel, who's off to a slow start, hitting 200 with 2 RBIs. Looking for his first extra base hit as well. Was 1 for 4 in the Harbor Hawks' 8-4 win over Wareham yesterday. Struck out a couple of times.
He's had his struggles to begin the Cape campaign, but don't let those numbers fool you. Another guy who is a first-team All-Conference USA selection, was 5th in the league in average for Florida Atlantic, hit .369 of the campaign. His .477 on base percentage was good enough for 4th in the league, and his hits, 83 of them, was best for 7th. So this guy can really swing it. Don't let the slow start, 8 for 40 here on the Cape, fool you. He's a guy who could do big-time damage in the middle of this Hyannis lineup.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider from Boxrucker for strike 2. To add on to that, Shanuel was named to the Southeast Region second team by the American Baseball Coaches Association for the 2nd year. So again, continuing to rack up the accolades. Led his conference with that .369 batting clip as well. Boxrucker does have him ahead here. No balls, 2 strikes. Just getting underway here on a gorgeous evening at Doran Park. Here's Boxrucker's 0-2. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 3. Foul tip held on by Leach as that will end the inning. Kate Boxrucker gets out of trouble, stranding runners on first and second here in the top of the first. Running to the bottom of the first. The Braves coming up for the first time tonight when we return.
Feeling lucky? Head over to the 50-50 table at Doran Park and play everyone's favorite ballpark game of chance. A different list of prizes are available every home game, and of course, half the pot is always up for grabs. Take it from me, my family played the 50-50 last season and won a gift certificate to a local ice cream shop, and I can tell you firsthand, it was delicious. Check out the list of prizes over at the 50-50 table next to the concession stand and play the 50-50 leg, because I'm sure there's a prize for you.
For the first time since 2019, the Cape Cod League All-Star Game is back. On Saturday, July 23rd at 6:45, the best players on Cape will come together in Wareham and duke it out in an East Division versus West Division clash. In 2021, the Braves had a league-leading 9 All-Stars, but they weren't able to shine in the mid-season showcase. But now the game is back, and it will include your favorite Braves stars as well as the best talent from around the Cape.
On our way back to Doran Park, it's time for some more Born Braves baseball.
Welcome back to Doran Park. Just getting underway here for Game 12 of the Young Cape season. Bottom of the first inning, scoreless here between the Braves and the Harbor Hawks. Let's take a look at Scott Landers' starting lineup for Bourne this evening. Leading off in right field will be Carson Roccaforte, followed by Matt Shaw, who was just tremendous last night, 3 for 4. Jack Hurley looking to get things going, will hit third, followed by Chris Brito, who's getting the start at the DH spot this evening. John Peck, after being inserted into the game as a pinch runner yesterday, will get the start at short, batting fifth. Josh Moylan, welcome back to the Braves, will hit sixth at first base. Evan Slight, the left fielder, seventh. Bryce Eblin, eighth, and Ryan Leach will round out the nine against Ty Good. And I think it's an understatement to say he had a good year at Charleston this year, Calvin.
Quite frankly, Max, he's good. This is a guy who made 15 starts for the College of Charleston this season, 17 appearances, a first-team All-CAA selection. In 82 and a third innings of work, he punched out 88 guys, had an ERA of 3.61. He's not going to blow you away with the fastball. Sits right around 87 miles an hour, but he's got a big-time herky-jerky motion and a big over-the-top breaking ball that leaves hitters confused sometimes. In 2 starts here on the Cape, he's 1-0, 8 and a third innings of work, has allowed just 3 hits, 3 home runs. In his last outing against Harwich, he allowed just a single hit across 4 and a third innings of work. It was a 2-run home run. He got Brock Wilkins, which is something a lot of pitchers who have pitched in the Cape Cod League could say they have had happen to them.
First pitch on the way to Carson Roccaforte is taken up and away for ball 1. And the big emphasis on Good was that over-the-top motion. Again, something you don't see as much from pitchers these days, particularly the 12-6 curveball, which has been touted as one of the most devastating pitches to join the Cape this summer. Either way, he falls behind Roccaforte at 2-0. Roccaforte was 0 for 4 yesterday, now 3 for 15 on the year. So the 2-0 is a broken bat pop-up down the right field line. Matulia ranging towards his left, towards foul ground. He'll reach up right in front of the fence down that right field line to make the catch for out number 1. So Roccaforte retired. So that sends up Matt Shaw. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense tonight that'll play behind Ty Good for Hyannis this evening. Left to right in the outfield, Tito Flores, Cole McConnell, and Philip Matalia, who you just met. Mitch Jebb, the third baseman. Dominic Patelli, Christian Moore ranging up the middle. Justin Jonas, the first baseman. And Pancho Ruiz will be your backstop. Here's Matt Shaw coming to the plate, a guy who has had the Firebirds number this year. Was 3 for 4 against them yesterday, a double and a stolen base. A homer and 4 RBIs in total this season as the first pitch is an awkward swing and a cue shot foul off to the first base side. 0-1.
Back-to-back awkward swings there. Obviously, the broken back got in on Roccaforte, and then Good goes right back inside to Shaw. That over-the-top motion, it kind of hides the ball for a little bit, and then when it comes in fast on the hands. That's why his 87 miles an hour that Good sits around plays like it's 92-93.
And that one misses inside for ball 1. You could tell Shaw up there having a tough time picking it up. Good stands at 6'2", 180 pounds. So gets some extension down that mound as well, as the 1-1 is a weak wave and a miss at a breaking ball for strike 2. Shaw quickly finds himself behind.
It's going to be a really tough task for this Braves lineup to try to get through Good. But if they can get to him even a little bit, this is a Hyannis bullpen that is taxed. They used 6 guys last night to beat the Wareham Gatemen, so they're going to need to get as much as they can out of Ty Good. That's why every close pitch taken for a ball, every foul ball, just to increase his pitch count a little bit, is huge in this game.
2-2, swinging a soft line drive, left center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. I'll tell you, it's impossible to get Matt Shaw out right now, even if you are as good as Ty Good. The Braves will take it their first of the night.
I mean, sooner or later, Shaw's going to get you, right? It's just a matter of time before he puts a good swing on a baseball. Last night, 3 for 4, stung a double into the right center field gap. Tonight, in on the hands a little bit on a breaking ball, but has the strength to just lift that over the head of the shortstop, Patelli, and into short left center field. This guy, I mean, there's no way around it. He flat out, straight up rakes.
And he runs, too. He takes his lead from first base. 3 stolen bags on the year. Pancho Ruiz in school ball at San Diego threw out 13 of 50 base runners, good for a 26% clip.
Is it just me? I know Pancho Ruiz is a San Diego State guy, but I feel like maybe it's just because the Braves have played Orleans a couple of times. I feel like the entire roster of San Diego and San Diego State has made the trip across the country. Am I wrong in saying that it's felt like that?
There were at least 3 or 4 in the starting 9 for Orleans yesterday, and hey, they'll take the nice weather we got today. It was a little cold the last couple of nights. So the 1-0 is on its way, swinging a high fly ball right center field, medium depth. Cole McConnell over to his left. He's there to make the catch for out number 2. So Hurley retired. A couple of fly ball outs to start things off here in the bottom of the first, as that brings up Chris Brito.
Lazy fly ball there by Hurley, but I think the same goes for Jack than it goes for Matt Shaw. I think sooner or later, Hurley is going to get one up and out of here. Granted, he's not going to be here for a very long time. He's going to Team USA in a week or two. But still, the guy is just an extra base hit waiting to happen. And this point, now through 15 at-bats, doesn't have an extra base hit and just 2 knocks on the season. Time is ticking, and I think Hurley is going to get one sooner or later here.
Brito skies this one. Third baseman Mitch Jebb ranging into foul ground. Now readjusts back towards the line. He makes the catch, as that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on here for the Bravos in the bottom of the 4th. We get to the top half of the 2nd. Cade Boxrucker coming out for his 2nd inning of work when we come back.
Can first pitch not come soon enough? Well, don't worry. Before the Bravos has you covered. Starting 15 minutes before first pitch at home or on the road, Before the Bravos has the pregame insight and analysis you need to get game ready. From exclusive interviews, a first look at the opposition, lineup breakdowns, and so much more, Before the Bravos is the best place to start your evening of baseball. Before the Bravos, 15 minutes before first pitch, every game day, live on the Born Braves YouTube stream.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they are investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
Your favorite team on the Cape is back in action. Now back to Born Braves baseball.
A lot of fans in attendance tonight to see their favorite team here at Doran Park as the Braves take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks here for the first time this summer. Top of the second inning, still scoreless. Cade Boxrucker got into some trouble in the first inning after inducing 2 quick flyouts, allowing the single to Janis, the walk to McConnell, but then struck out Shanuel to get out of trouble.
Couple of soft contacts induced early in the inning, like you mentioned. Good bounce back after allowing 2 men to reach to get Shamuel to punch out. But I don't want to make this into the Matt Shaw cheerleading broadcast here. But just watching everything this guy does, obviously watch him take batting practice today. He, lined 3 balls into right field and then decided to pull one and one-hop the fence out in right field. He got a base hit last time up. And just watching him take infield warm-ups, he's on the grass behind the third base bag when Josh Moylan throws it across the diamond. And it's just a rock and throw, a liner across the, I don't know how far that is, like 150 feet?
This looks like a flick of the wrist.
Yeah, it's just a flick of the wrist across from first to third to first, I should say. He's just so smooth in everything he does.
Flown to shallow right field. Here comes Roccaforte. He's going to have to play it on a hop as that dunks in for a base hit for Christian Moore. So in his first at-bat here this summer with the Harbor Hawks, the Tennessee product picks up a base hit. And back to what you were talking about with Shaw, I mentioned it a little bit on the broadcast yesterday, but when he joined the team, our very own Ethan Frank was very excited, of course, because he worked in the PGCBL last summer with Matt Shaw. And you look at the offensive numbers, and they just explode off the page. I don't even know if that's a good enough adjective to use right there. But I think what's impressed me the most is his defensive capabilities, and that's something he said he wanted to work on coming into this summer. And it seems like every single night he's flashing that leather.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Last night, a couple of nice plays, snatched a line drive, picked it out of the air once again. And then he made that diving catch on a pop-up in a short right field in the first inning. The guy can really do it all, and we've seen him play second base now 3 games, shortstop for a game against YD, and he was picking it with the best of them over there. Seeing him tonight at third base obviously hasn't gotten an opportunity over there. But I think the defense just plays at every position, and with his bat, he's just an all-around guy, or at least he's turned into that here early in this Braves season.
2-0 the count here to Pancho Ruiz as he gets his first plate appearance of the night.
And the thing that impresses me the most is he's not like he's hitting without a target on his back. People and teams read the scouting reports. They see 22 home runs this season at Maryland. They read what this guy can do, and yet everyone's still struggling to get him out.
Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Leach. He'll just have to put it in his pocket as Moore will take second base standing up. So 2-0 the count now. Moore in scoring position over there at second base. And Leach has been good the last couple of nights behind the plate. Again, that was just a breaking ball buried in the dirt. Good base running by Moore. to read that dirt ball and take second base quite quickly. So Ruiz up at the plate now with a chance to drive in a run. He's driven in 2 this year, hitting .227 in the summer. At San Diego State this spring, hit .300, 3 homers, 20 RBIs. Early chance here for the Harbor Hawks as they look to take the lead. Again, coming into tonight, having won 2 in a row after a 2-4-1 start to the year in their first 7 games. Here's Box Ruckers 2-0. Breaking ball, tap foul, third base side. Count jumps to 2-1. The Braves against these Harbor Hawks last year had their number, won 4 of the 5 meetings. Outscored them 24-21 in that span. And it probably would have been a bigger deficit between those two margins had it not come to a 10-2 victory for Hyannis in their final meeting in one of the back games in the end of the year. And like you mentioned on the pregame show, Calvin, this is a Harbor Hawks organization that has struggled the last few years. The next pitch is taken outside for ball 3. But now they're back to 500, and with a win tonight, could be back above 500 for the first time this year.
I think it just says what Eric Beattie has done as a first-year manager for this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team. Taking over a club that went 17-60-3 over the past 2 seasons. And granted, like every team in the Cape, the players come and go, they change out. But this is a Hawks team that hasn't had a positive run differential since 2015, a season where they fell short in the championship series, losing to the second straight, at the time, back-to-back champions, Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. YD went on to make it a three-peat the following year. But it's been so long since these guys have been in the positive in the run column.
Evelyn takes care of business at second base and tosses over to retire Poncho for out number 1. Moore moves over to third base on the play. And currently they sit with a -1 run differential, so with a 1-run win tonight, they could get back to 0. With a 2-run win or anything greater than that can get back over to the positive mark. Meanwhile, the Braves trying to stop that. The Braves just a point in front of them, a half-game lead as Bourne holds second place. Both the Harbor Hawks and the Braves trailing those Kettleers, who sit at 9-1-1. Picked up their first loss yesterday to the Harwich Mariners. The first pitch on the way to Dominic Pitelli is taken outside for ball 1.
First 2 games, though, the last 2 games where Braves fans can say they picked up points on the Katuitt Kettleers. Braves won on Wednesday, a night where Katuitt tied 3-3 against Falmouth. Then the Braves win last night, a night where Katuitt loses.
1-0, good. Backdoor breaking ball in the outside corner. Count evens up at 1. And it seemed like early on in the season, it was a lot of, your Western Division foes. They saw the Kettleers twice, but it's been 10 days.
Which is weird.
Since
it
they
feels
have
weird,
seen a
doesn't
Western
it?
Division team. You're right, especially early on in the year. So the next pitch is taken down low. And obviously they're trying to win every game you can, but when you have an opportunity to play a Harbor Hawks team like this, or Katuitt, they haven't even played Falmouth yet, and won't get there to next week. But anytime you play a team in your division, there's a little bit extra of a chip on your shoulder because you know you can confirm that you can gain ground on those teams instead of relying on other teams to beat them. The 2-1 is hit high in the air, deep center field. Hurley on his horse in front of the track. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Moore. He will score with ease. So the run is in for the Harbor Hawks. They take the leads. They strike first here in the top of the second inning. 1-0 your score. But Jack Hurley, quite a nice play out there. Sprawling out towards his left and had to adjust towards his right as the wind picked this one up, reaching up to make the grab in front of the track.
And Hurley hasn't played much center field here for the Braves, and I think he didn't know how close he was to that center field fence out there. He caught it kind of falling back, anticipating running into the fence, where I think he had a little bit more room before he got to that fence. Twisting in the wind is always a tough play, especially when a fly ball is carrying on you. But the Braves got the most important part of that play, and that was the catch in center field, even though the run makes the easy trot home from third. But a good job run producing here for Hyannis. Single the lead off this inning. A good dirt ball read by Moore. Ground ball right side with nobody out in the inning, and then a sac fly. That's the formula to produce runs at any level of baseball, and really good execution by Hyannis, practicing what I'm sure they do in BP every night.
And it gives them a 1-0 lead, so that'll bring up Philip Matulia to the plate, the 9-hole hitter. He's ahead 2-0. So the next pitch is a breaking ball that drops over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Matulia off to a slow start this year. Began the year 1 for 15. Has the batting average up to 200. Now a homer and 4 RBIs as well, a product of Louisiana Tech. The 2-1. Check swing at a breaking ball. It's a strike either way. Counting it's up at 2-2. Was 2 for 3 yesterday with a home run and 2 RBIs. That was back against Wareham at home, an 8-4 victory. Boxrucker already set from that first base side of the rubber as he quickens his pace. Here's his 2-2. Pounded foul. Count will stay the same. Top of the order on deck, and Mitch Jebb here. And again, Boxrucker trying to limit the damage to 1. When the Braves come back for the bottom of the second inning, they'll send up 5, 6, and 7 in Peck, Moylan, and Slight. And you mentioned the ability for Hyannis to manufacture a run right there, Calvin. That was their strong suit yesterday. The 2-2 is popped up third base side and will fly out of play. Count stays at 2-2. With 2 outs, they pick up their first inning run of the year on a Chris Brito RBI single to right. And then 3 sacrifice flies to generate those 4 runs and win by 2.
That's just good baseball, and that's something the Braves have missed this season, producing runs when there was runners in scoring position. But last night, part of why last night was the Braves' best overall performance, they were able to do that not once, not twice, but 4 times to get those 4 runs in.
And what jumped out to me the most is when you go back to the 6th inning where they picked up back-to-back sacrifice flies from Dakota Harris and Alan Espinal, because they caught a couple of breaks where we saw the strikeout wild pitch that allowed Hensler to reach, and then the single from Jack Duffy that dropped in after both the right fielder and center fielder slipped. There's so many times this year where it feels like the Braves have squandered those opportunities. This next pitch misses outside, the count runs full. But right there, they were able to bring in those 2 runs with a couple of fly balls, which ended up being incredibly important because Orleans was able to battle back with 1 run of their own. Had those 2 runs not scored, it may have been a tie ball game. Here's the 3-2. Grounded down the first base side and foul. Good battle from Matulia right here as the count stays at 3-2.
For a guy in Matulia who started off this season really struggling. 2 for 3 last night. Now a really good quality at-bat regardless of outcome here. He has to be feeling a lot more confident about himself in the batter's box here in the Cape League.
Boxrucker already 1 walk in this game. That came to McConnell back in the first. 3-2 is taken up and away for ball 4. Looks like a breaking ball that backed up, maybe a changeup. Matulia will take first base with 2 down. Second walk surrendered by Boxrucker as that flips over the lineup for a second time. So that'll bring up Mitch Jebb to the plate. And you brought it up to me. It was quite a spectacular
statistic. It's an eye-popping stat.
Absolutely. For him this year at Michigan State, 16 strikeouts. Get this, in a total of 262 plate appearances. Good for a strikeout rate of 6%, which is just absolutely remarkable, his ability to put the ball in play. So far in the Cape, has labored a little bit in his swing and miss game as there goes the runner, pitches down low. Leachers throw to second base, a little bit towards the third base side. Almost coming off the bag is Matulia, but that'll be a stolen base for him.
Usually not a good idea to run on Ryan Leach after he threw out 2 would-be Chatham Anglers base stealers in the win on Wednesday night, but a good jump there by Matulia, running on the first pitch, no hesitation. And now with Jebb, you mentioned his statistics. The guy puts the ball in play. Hit .356 this season for Michigan State, 78 hits, good for 5th in the Big Ten. So when you know you have a guy like that, if you can put a runner in scoring position, regardless of how many outs there are, you have a chance to manufacture a run.
1-0 is on the outside corner. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So far in the Cape, has struck out 5 times in 20 plate appearances. So he's looking to make some adjustments right here. But again, 5 for 16 so far has really heated up over the last couple of nights. Matulia, good speed at second. The 1-1 runs outside ball 2. 2-1. And again, we're seeing an opportunity that Hyannis has created for themselves by manufacturing the smaller aspects of the game. You work a walk with Matulia. He steals on the first pitch. That puts him in scoring position. Now you have the top of the lineup, and Garner, there are 2 outs. Still a good run-scoring spot. 1 run already in on the Patelli sacrifice fly to center. The 2-1, good breaking ball, bites the outer third of the plate. Count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Seems like Boxrucker has a lot more confidence in his slider right now than he does the fastball. That is his any count pitch right now. Behind in the count, ahead in the count. He wants to throw that slider, which granted has been a really good pitch for him this season, not only at Campbell, but in his first start here on the Cape.
He struck out Shanuel to end the first. Can he pick up another to end the second? Next pitch is up and away ball 3. The count will run full. So 24 strikes to 19 balls so far for Boxrucker in an inning and 2/3 plus of work. Again, we mentioned command was something he struggled with back at Campbell this summer, or I should say this spring. looking to avoid another walk right here. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a soft ground ball left side, sliding stop by Shock. Gets to his feet, throws to first base. That is in time. You could see that glove sparkling from Boston for Matt Shaw as he makes just another tremendous play ranging towards his left. Likely saves a run. Running to the bottom of the second, but Hyannis gets on the board for the first time tonight. They lead it 1-0.
Fans, don't forget to take part in our 50.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
Let's take you back out to the ball game. It's time for more Bourne Braves baseball.
Bottom half of the second inning, 1-0 Hyannis. Your score after the sacrifice fly off the bat of Dominic Patelli. McGee Boxrocker able to weave out of trouble and limit the damage to 1 after another fantastic play by Matt Shaw to end the inning to rob Mitch Jebb of a base hit and probably an RBI. That'll send up John Peck to lead things off, 5, 6, and 7 against Good, who allowed the hit to Shaw, but besides that, worked very quickly through this Braves lineup. Peck came in as a pinch runner yesterday, was picked off by his college teammate. So the first pitch is on its way.
Which is never a good thing.
Not
only
fun.
did he get picked off, which is a long jog back from first base to the third base dugout, but when you get to walk by your teammate who's on the mound giving you a smirk, not a fun run.
That was Shane Telfer, the southpaw.
Granted, he was a lefty. So I guess.
Absolutely. He was going first move, but definitely probably some words shared after that. Both go to Pepperdine. As Peck stands in, now behind 0-2. Here's the pitch from Good. Taken down low, looks like a changeup for ball 1. Maybe that 12-6 curveball. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peck's last start, offensively speaking, was against Chatham back on Wednesday. Was 1 for 4, picked up a very big double, an important double. So that set up the 2-run single that Dakota Harris picked up just a couple batters later to give those Braves a 1-run lead back in that 8th inning. And again, if Peck doesn't hit that double, the Braves likely find themselves in the loss column. He's looking to heat up here, 9 for 36 so far at the Cape. So the next pitch is fouled straight back. Peck, Moylan in slight due-up here in the second inning. And then Eblin and Leach if they can extend things so far. Again, it's going to be a tough task against Ty Good tonight. Went 4 1/3 and picked up the win against Harwich back in his last outing. The 2-2 is on its way. Swinging a fisted pop-up right side. Right there is the first baseman, Jonas, to make that Janis as he makes the catch with one hand for out number 1. So a lot of soft contact so far induced by Good. And again, the right-handers, it looks like he's loving to live with that fastball inside. And you touched on it a little bit earlier, Calvin. He's not going to overpower you upper 80s, lower 90s with that fastball. But it's been deceptive so far. A lot of late and emergency swings from right-handed hitters.
It's an uncomfortable at-bat just because you don't really see this type of motion and delivery all the time. That over-the-top fastball gets inside to hitters really, really quickly. So with a guy like this, he's going to live on the inside corner with his fastball, and then he's going to drop the hammer on you, that big 12-6 breaking ball that he's thrown 30% of the time so far this season.
So here's Josh Moylan, his first at-bat here at Doran Park since last summer, the only returner now for this 2022 club. At East Carolina this year, hit a .180, make that .221, 6 homers, 27 RBIs. Last year with the Braves in 21, hit a .180 with a home run and 5 RBIs. He quickly finds himself behind 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Tall left-handed hitter as he gets the start at first base tonight. Good winds and fires the 1-2. Swing and a foul straight back. Count will hold at 1-2.
Moylan with some serious power, too. If this guy gets a barrel, this ball can fly a long, long way. Hit a home run in the regional that was at East Carolina in Greenville, a ball against Virginia that probably still hasn't landed yet. Over the jungle, as they call it out there in right field. So this guy's got some serious power. And when he gets it, he gets it. Although last year we had a conversation with his teammate, Zach Agnos, who was a Brave last season and was up here on the Cape. He said, Josh is the king at celebrating home runs that find their way being caught on the warning track.
No. It's never good. Well, it's going to take a lot of power to get one out here at Doran. 360 feet to straightaway right. The next pitch is right over the heart of the plate for strike 3 with a fastball. So Moylan rung up on strikes. The first punch out of the night for good. 2 up, 2 down, now 4 in a row retired as that brings up Evan Slight to the plate. Slight got off to a 3-for-10 start after dealing with an illness early on in the season. Now 4 for 19 in total with an RBI. He's been 1 for 9 since that 3-for-10 start. So he's looking to get something going here. Back-to-back left-handed hitters here to face Ty Good. First pitch, fastball over the yard of the plate for strike 1. 0-1.
Slight obviously with the off night last night, but on Wednesday, he was the victim of one of the craziest plays. I think underratedly crazy plays, as he tapped one back to the pitcher's mound, and the pitcher, at the time Ray, tripped over his feet and fielded it to the third base side of the bag, and as he was falling, threw it and still got Slight out at first on what was a miraculous play. You say all the time, pitchers are athletes.
That he was an athlete there.
And Ray made quite the athletic play to throw out Slight.
Carlos Ray was fantastic relief for Chatham back on Wednesday. So the 1-2 is swung and flown to the air, shallow center. Here comes McConnell. This one's down for a base hit. Drops one into the triangle in right center field as Evan Slight picks up his second hit as many games. The second knockoff of good tonight as well.
The second baseman, number 2, out of Alabama.
A lot of fly balls tonight. We've seen 2 pop-ups and 2 flyouts now. And then the single from Shaw was a soft line drive, and that single from Slight was a blooper to shallow right center. So that's going to be the tendency tonight, it seems, against Good, who has that fastball that has a lot of life on it, despite it being in the upper 80s. And that 12-6 curveball that has just been devastating so far this summer. Here comes Bryce Eblin to the plate. Again, trying to shake out of a 2-for-25 start. Back of the doubleheader against YD last Sunday, make that Monday, was a makeup game for Sunday's postponement. Laced a double into the left center field gap as he takes a strike, 0-1. And at the time, you felt that that was maybe what was going to get him going. Got the start at YD back on Tuesday, was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, reached base via the hit by pitch. Slight takes his lead from first, good speed for him. The 0-1 is flown to the air, left field fairly deep. Flores ranging in towards the alley. He's there as he reaches up to make the catch to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on here at the bottom of the second. 1-0 Hyannis your score. And with that, let's send things down to our sideline reporter, Ethan Frank, for the first time tonight. Ethan?
Thank you very much, Max. You saw Josh Moylan come up to bat in that second inning. And Josh is the only returner from last year's 2021 Western Division champion Braves squad. And I know Calvin knows a little bit about Josh, but from what I've learned, he is really the ultimate team guy, always doing stuff to make the team better. I was told he actually got injured late last season, as Calvin, I'm sure you're aware. And when most players would have shut it down, gone home, enjoyed the rest of their summer at home, he stayed here to be part of the team and is just the ultimate teammate, team guy, and is going to bring a lot to this Braves dugout and really build the chemistry. Calvin, what is your favorite Josh Moylan memory, you would say, from 2021?
Ethan, thank you so much. Josh Moylan was definitely the captain of the Braves dugout during that stretch last season. A guy who was injured, like you mentioned, but hung around with the team and really was the heart and soul of the ball club as the Bravos went all the way to the championship series last year, but ended up losing a tough series to Brewster 2 games to none in the finals a year ago. Moylan back on the team this year in 2022, punched out looking in his first at-bat. But he's back out there at first base for the third inning of work of Cade Boxrucker, the Braves starter tonight. Ran into some trouble in the second, gave up a hit to Christian Moore, who ended up coming around scoring. But is out there for the third, an inning which is now given the Braves fits. Past 2 games, the opposing team has scored runs in the third, not the fourth. So let's see if Boxrucker can get Coach Landers for tonight, as did Cade Grundy a night ago. But that's not going to be easy, he faces 2, 3, 4, Flores, Janis, and McConnell coming up in this Hyannis order.
And I think you could really merge the third and the fourth inning together here because it really depends on where you are in the lineup. But I think the common theme in total for this Braves pitching staff has been getting through the lineup a second time. And for Boxrucker right here, who's labored just a little bit with his command tonight, again, a couple of walks compared to none in his last outing against the Mariners, would like to get through a clean inning right here. But like you mentioned, you got Flores, Janis, and McConnell, a very daunting three here for Hyannis.
Looks like Seth Keener is already working down in the Braves bullpen. He's a starter by trade, so he can give you length if Boxrucker runs into some trouble here in the third. Facing Flores for the second time, who flew out to Slight out in left field in the first inning, has Boxrucker, which most Brave pitchers has gotten into the trend of doing, working really quickly as he continues to dominate with that slider.
And I think one of the biggest mantras in baseball right now is dominate the zone. And a part of that is dominating the pace, especially when you're on the mound out there. And again, speed up that hitter. It can help you make your fastball look a little bit quicker, keep that timing a little bit unpredictable. And it's been working so far for a lot of these Braves arms.
Boxrucker in his second outing for the Braves this season, second start in fact. Got the start and the win last Friday night in Harwich. But down 1-0 here in the third inning to Hyannis. Braves wearing their camouflage hats once again tonight. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Maybe a little good luck charm after their win last night against Orleans, rocking these caps. A beige camouflage with the Cape Cod Baseball League logo on the front. This is actually something that Brewster did a season ago. The Whitecaps down the stretch kept wearing their Friday Cape Cod League camouflage hats through their playoff run when they went an undefeated 4-0 during that stretch. So the Braves trying to squeeze some luck out of their new lids as well here in just the 12th game of the season as you already passed the quarter point in this campaign.
I'll tell you, it goes quick. It feels like opening day was just a handful of days ago. But the Braves will take it. Looking to get hot here as we get towards the middle of the first half.
Full count pitch to Flores, misses up and in, so Hyannis for the second straight inning has a leadoff base runner here in the third.
And like you mentioned, a two-pitch mix for Boxrucker so far tonight, a fastball and a slider. We've maybe seen him mix in a couple of changeups. Like you mentioned, if one of those pitches isn't working, it's going to make the other one that much easier to hit right there. And again, that slider's been good so far. He's relied a lot on it. But that one backed up, missed inside to Flores right there for ball four as we see Brad Cook, the pitching coach, come out for a meeting.
So Hyannis started with a base runner in the second. That was Christian Moore, who singled in his first Cape at-bat. He advanced on a wild pitch to second, then a ground ball by Ruiz to the right side of the infield moved him to third, and then Patelli's sac fly brought him home. Similar situation here. Let's see how aggressive Hyannis is in the base pass with Flores, who hasn't attempted a stolen base this summer, was 2 for 4 for the Wolverines of Michigan in the regular year. Hyannis already with the stolen base, testing that arm of Leach, which has been a cannon so far to this point in the season. Can they find a good pitch to try to swipe a bag on once again here in the third?
And entering tonight, they attempted 14 stolen bags, had executed on 11 of them, so not running as much as this Braves team does, but when they do, they've been efficient with it.
Boxrucker would obviously love a ground ball here to one of his middle infielders. Eblin and Peck, a very different combination we've seen. We've seen so many different combinations in the middle infield. I feel like it's like offensive lines when a team is having a season where offensive linemen are getting banged up. How many different combinations of offensive linemen are played? We got to put our beat writer, Mac Friday, on this. How many different middle infield tandems has the Braves had this season?
And in this case, it's not because guys are getting banged up. It's just because you have an embarrassment of the riches. You have too many options over there.
Eblin and Peck, both very solid options to play up the middle. Peck tonight at short, Eblin at second. Boxrucker's climbed ahead of Janis here, 0-2, his pitch. Breaking ball, got him to chase up and away for strike one, for out number one, I should say, as Janis is the second strikeout victim for Cade Boxrucker tonight.
And he elevated up and out of the zone right there, was able to get Janis to swing through it. That's a big out right there because Janis is one of the more threatening bats in this lineup. And now, of course, you get to face McConnell with one down instead of a potential opportunity with a runner in scoring position.
McConnell walked in his first at-bat. That was in the first inning. Flores, who walked, is on first. Check on him. He's back in with a head first slide. Hyannis 8-4 winners last night against Wareham, putting them into third place here in a very packed-in West Division, albeit packed in 2 through 5 as Katuitt continues their really dominant start with a 9-1-1 beginning to the campaign. Braves at second place in the West, 8 points behind the Kettleers. Hyannis in third, 9 points back. Hyannis already with a stolen base tonight, like we alluded to, but not a very aggressive team like the numbers tell you. 12 for 15 now are the Harbor Hawks swiping bags this season. That's just 7th in the league. Braves are actually second in that category with 18 successful steals. Flores is the runner. The batter is McConnell. Here's the 1-1.
And again, you see him falling behind McConnell right here. Already 3 walks for him tonight. And you got Shanu on deck and more after him. It doesn't get much easier right here, so he's going to have to attack the zone and try to induce some soft contact.
In the dirt, 3-1. Boxrucker walked just 1 Mariner in his debut this season for the Braves last Friday, but has already walked a man in this inning. In every inning, he's been on the mound trying to prevent his second walk here of the frame.
And the double play was a friend of the Braves defense yesterday. Turned one in the first, another in the 7th, both 5-4-3. And, of course, Boxrucker could really use one right now.
Good count to do damage for McConnell. Here's the 3-1. Not even close to the zone, and it's another walk, the 4th of the outing for Cade Boxrucker.
And we're seeing a right-hander starting to warm up down the left field line. Again, the available arms of the bullpen tonight for the Braves are Seth Keener, Mason Palio, and Nelson Berkwich. So you got to imagine Scott Landers is trying to get as much as he can out of Boxrucker. Again, went 4 innings in his last outing, but he's a guy at school this year who, again, averaging just about 50 pitches per outing and just a handful of innings, mostly in relief.
Keener is the man getting loose as both the Braves and the Harbor Hawks bullpen very taxed coming into play tonight. So both coaches looking for starters to go deep in this game. This could be 2. Eblin underhand flipped to Peck. On to first. It's a double play. Cade Boxrucker allows 2 walks in the inning, but the Braves roll up a double play to get out of the inning unscathed. Through 2.5 here at Doran, Hyannis 1, and the Braves coming to bat for the 3rd time, still looking at a 0 in the score column. T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve. That's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
For the first time since 2019, the Fold Cape Cod League playoff slate is back. Last season, just 2 teams from the East and West Division respectively played in the shortened playoff format, but this year there will be a full 8-team slate. 4 teams from the East and West will get a shot at the title. The Braves have missed the postseason just once since 2007 and look to make another run back to the title game in 2022, a series they lost a season ago. It's the Cape Cod League playoffs, and they're back in full swing for the first time in 3 years.
Hi, this is Reese Sharp from Indiana University, right-handed pitcher, and this is Born Braves Baseball.
Ryan Leach.
Bottom half of the 3rd inning for the Braves as they trail 1-0 here at Doran Park. Still trying to figure out the starter for Hyannis, Ty Good, who has allowed 2 hits, 1 in each inning, but has worked around both of those and has put together 2 really solid innings of work. He'll face 9-1-2 here in the Braves order in the 3rd. Ryan Leach to lead us off. As he tags one into left field, going back is Flores, but camping under it and making the one-handed catch is the Hyannis left fielder for the first out.
And Leach being aggressive right there on the first pitch, and I think the approach against Good, especially second time through this lineup, is when you see something straight, go after it, because they do not want to fall behind and allow them to use that breaking ball, which has just been so good tonight in terms of inducing the swing and miss. Again, they've looked very off balance against it. And Leach gave that one a ride out there. We've seen a couple times this year where some Braves bats have floated out in that direction, but went pretty calm today. Could not get any help from that.
So the lineup flips over for Carson Roccaforte as the Braves threw 9 batters, all 9 in the starting lineup tonight. Not one of them hit a ball on the ground the first time around against Ty Good. A couple of softly hit pop-ups, mostly fly balls, as 4 guys were retired with the fly ball. 2 of them popped out, and both singles. One of them was a blooper by Slight that found a home in shallow right field, and a softly hit line drive in left center hit by Shaw, and of course the punch-out of Moylan. So Good not putting the ball on the ground, and just as I say it, Roccaforte rolls over to second, and there is more to put him away.
Maybe Good was hearing you on the mound. Is like, hey, we'll throw one down in the zone right now to try and get a GB for you, Calvin. And Roccaforte, again, a little bit out in front right there, rolling over the top of it. But what that'll tell you about the fastball of Good is that it has a ton of ride on it, a ton of life, especially as it gets closer to the plate. It seems like for the majority of the last couple of games, it's been change-up splitter mixes, fastballs with sink on them, which have, again, induced a lot of the ground ball. So a little bit of a different look tonight on the mound for the Harbor Hawks.
Good has been in complete command tonight, as 2 are gone here in the 3rd inning for Matt Shaw, who feels like no one is ever in command of him when he stands in that right-handed batter's box. Already with a single on the line tonight, continuing his 3-for-4 outburst of last night. Seeing Good for the second time and has climbed ahead 2-0.
And a lot of pitchers against him as of late trying to pound him inside, which is what Good did when he picked up that single, but was able to drop it into shallow center for a hit.
Looping breaking ball just misses on the inside part of the plate, so now it's 3-0 to Shaw.
And we haven't seen a walk yet from Good, but that is something he has struggled with. If you could find one struggle for him so far this summer, 6 in 8 1/3 of an innings work.
3-0 inside again, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Matt Shaw, which isn't the worst thing to do to this guy, especially the way he's been seeing it over the past couple of days. He is on first and a threat to go. Already 3 steals so far this summer for the Bravos.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he's put in motion right there, or right here, I should say. We saw Matalia with 2 outs run to the second inning to try and set up a good spot for Jeb, their leadoff hitter. You have Hurley at the plate, who's absolutely due to break out. And Shaw with 2 down, again, trying to get in scoring position right here. If he's thrown out, then you have Hurley lead off the next inning. If not, he's in scoring position here with 2 down.
Shaw stealing or not, a ball in the gap probably still scores the fast Maryland Terrapin over at first. Hurley, a guy who can put it in the gap. We just haven't seen it so far this summer. And that's a pitch that's been really tough for him. Off-speed pitches, whether it be a changeup or a curveball, down and away.
And that changeup, a 33% whiff rate on it. So again, it may not be the 46% that you see on the curveball, but still really, really dominant.
Athletic play by Janis at first base to keep that throw over in front of him. As Good has to keep a close eye at Shaw over there at first. Shaw bluffs the steal on the 0-1 pitch, and it misses high for ball 1.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he was committed right there, but again, saw Good go with the slide step, a quick delivery, maybe just didn't get the jump he was looking for and decided to put it on the brakes. Probably good idea as that pitch was up and away. Would have been a good pitch for Ruiz to throw on.
Good effort by Ruiz behind home plate to keep that one in front of him as well. As the pitch missed down and low in the dirt, it is 2-1 to Hurley. And if this guy can hook one down the right field line, he is going to be running for a long ways. Matulia, the right fielder out there, playing in pretty much straight up right field, but it never looks like any right fielder is playing straight up with all the room down the line here at Doran.
So second time through the lineup, looks like he's relying on that changeup a little bit more, which is what just makes him so deadly right there with the dominance we've seen from that curveball so far tonight. Now you're mixing in the breaking ball, which then sets up that fastball, which again, albeit be 88, 89 miles an hour, speeds up after the heavy dosage of off-speed pitches.
Let's see if Hurley can make an adjustment. 2-2. Another changeup, and he fans for the 3rd out of the inning. Ty Good says, oh yeah, my curveball's pretty good. Check out my changeup, and strikes out Jack Hurley to retire the side here in the third. We're going to the fourth, 1-0 here at Doran Park as Seth Keener trots on to begin the fourth for the Bravos.
The Bourne Braves will be holding youth clinics this summer. They're for boys and girls ages 5 to 12, plus we'll offer 1 week of clinics for ages 12 to 15. For more information, visit the 50/50 table near the concession stand or visit our website at bournebraves.org.
Win or lose, there's always a Brave that sticks out on the field. Head over to our YouTube channel by searching the Bourne Braves, or head to @BourneBraves on Twitter and catch the post-game interview every night with a player of the game on game night with me, Ethan Frank. And as always, you have a say on who gets to chat with me. Tweet at us @BourneBraves and use the hashtag Player of the Game to submit your pick for the POG.
The stars of the Bourne Braves can't perform well with an empty stomach, and neither can the best fans in the Cape Cod League. Hungry at Doran Park? Visit our concession stand down the third baseline, serving your favorite ballpark classics, including hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn, cold drinks, and more. The concession stand at Doran Park is the place to go, because the only thing better than watching the Braves live is watching the Braves live with a hot dog in your hand.
This is Ryan Fisher, right-handed pitcher, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Go Bourne Braves.
Good friend of the broadcast, Ryan Fisher, predicted to get his start tomorrow in the doubleheader against Brewster. But for now, it's Seth Keener, the first guy out of the Braves bullpen. Cade Boxrucker gives you 3 innings of work, allowed just 1 run. And now it's Keener, a guy who can give you length, the first guy up out of that Braves pen.
Absolutely. This will be his 3rd outing of the summer so far. 1 relief appearance, 1 start. Through 4 2/3, a 5.78 ERA, has allowed 3 earned runs in that span, all 3 of which came against Katuitt in his season debut. And that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Scott Landers. I think you got to be happy with what you got from Boxrucker. Again, labored with the command a little bit. The 4 walks I think he would like to take back, but still was able to get to 3 innings and allowing just 1 run. And now Keener gets to start with a clean slate here in this 4th, and then they'll be able to pass the torch off to Pelio and or Berkowitz if they don't want to use both.
And asking you shall receive with that guy, Mac Friday, doing God's work
Just incredible.
in there.
Just incredible.
Next to us in the room up here in the broadcast booth. Mac tells us there has been 6 different middle infield combinations for the Braves this season. In the Peck and Eblin combination we are seeing tonight with Peck over at short and Eblin at second is the most popular. They have started 6 of now 12 Braves games. Peck and Shaw, the second most popular combination, starting 2 together. And then Peck, Forsythe, Eblin, Harris, Eblin, Shaw, and Shaw, Forsythe have all started in the middle once as a tandem apiece.
And look, if you're a manager of any baseball club, or I should just say of any sport, when you have as many options as Scott Landers does, especially with their abilities defensively, all of them I'd say are plus, you're in heaven, to say the least.
So Keener starts off with Christian Moore in his first at-bat for the Harbor Hawks this season. Roped a single into shallow center field. Then went to second on a wild pitch, went to third on a ground ball to the right side, and scored the Hyenas' only run on a sac fly back in the second. But as a strikeout victim, as Keener comes out of the pen and blows one by Moore for the first out here of the 4th.
An explosive right fastball right there, again, just catapulting into the glove of Ryan Leach. A late swing from Moore. And again, lulling him to sleep with a couple breaking balls and then speeding things up with that heater.
So here is Pancho Ruiz to climb in. 0 for 1 in the scorebook, but a very good at-bat for the Hyenas catcher to start off his night, hitting a ground ball to second to move Moore over to third with just 1 out at the time in the inning. He bats with the bases empty for his second AB of the night. A .309 hitter this season for the Aztecs of San Diego State. 5 homers and 64 runs batted in. Ruiz, a native of Mexico, looks at a pitch miss away, and the count is even at 1-1 as he sees Seth Keener for the first time.
And we mentioned getting through the lineup multiple times has been an issue for Braves pitchers this year. That's why actually opening up with Boxrucker could work really well for them right now, especially since Keener's going to give you a little bit different look, a little bit more zip on that fastball. Again, a guy, like you said, can provide some length for you. But moving forward here, it's got to be a different feeling when you're in the batter's box after seeing Boxrucker for one at-bat, and then you're preparing to face Keener for at least once, if not twice.
Keener fanned more to start his outing tonight, but now has fallen behind the catcher Ruiz, 3-1. Wearing the number 7 as his Wake Forest teammate Eric Adler did a summer ago for the Braves, his 3-1. Slider that tried to go through the front door but was left on the doorstep. And it's a walk here to Ruiz as the Harbor Hawks have another walk, their 5th already of this ball game. They've taken ball 4 in every inning.
And they came into tonight having taken 39 this season in total through 11 games, which is just 3 less than the Braves this year. And again, those free passes will do you big, especially when you're looking to win your 3rd in a row. And not bad misses from Keener right there. It was nibbling at both corners of the plate.
Patelli squared, pulled back. A snap throw down to first by Leach was in the dirt. Back in safely was Ruiz. Braves got a double play to end the 3rd inning as Cade Boxrucker rolled up Nolan Shamuel 4-6-3. Seth Keener would love the same thing here. That would end this 4th inning. And the Braves would get through 3 straight 4th innings without allowing a run. Before that, 19 runs in the Braves' first 9 games allowed in the 4th inning. Not very difficult math to see that the ERA is 19 for the Bravos through the first 9 games in this 4th frame.
It was difficult for me when I was calculating. I don't know if you remember. I saw the 19 on the ERA total on my ERA calculator, and I was like, 19? And then simply enough, you made it easy for me after we figured it out. But it was difficult for a non-math major and myself.
Granted, I think it's difficult to calculate ERA in this league because some of the games are
Absolutely.
7 and some are 9. So just looking at the flat surface, you think, okay, all the games are 9 innings. It's a simple math, but when you factor in the 7-inning games, the ERAs are not 9. But that's enough math for tonight. The only math I'll tell you is this count has gone to 3-1, as after a strikeout to Seth Keener's first batter in more out of the bullpen, he's in danger of walking back-to-back Harbor Hawks. Don't want to do that, especially to guys who hit 7 and 8 in the high-end order. Here's the 3-1. Full count.
And a good quality pitch right there behind 3-1. Like you mentioned, hitter's count had to make a quality pitch and pinpointed this on the outside corner at the knee height. Patelli took a good rip at it. Also, we'll see. I mean, Ruiz not the fastest of fleet over there at first base, but we've seen the Harbor Hawks try to force some action right here and manufacture runs in terms of the small way.
For a catcher, though, Ruiz, 4 for 5 this season, stealing bases for San Diego State. Hasn't attempted one this season for Hyannis. But like you alluded to, 3-2 could be the count to do that. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner, he caught him looking, strike 3. That is a big-time come-from-behind at-bat for Seth Keener. Piatelli is down on strikes, and he's the second victim so far in this inning.
And both via the fastball, one swinging, one looking. That pitch has been working very well for him tonight. And now he has the 9-hole hitter up, an opportunity to get through this inning unscathed.
Matulia is the batter. He took ball 4 in the second, stole second base, but was stranded there. First pitch to him misses away as Keener is continuing to try to clip corners. Came up a little short on that pitch as Seth is just one pitch away from getting out of the 4th inning. And what a win it would be. What a turnaround it would be for the Braves for 3 straight zeros to go up in the 4th inning in consecutive games.
Absolutely, and they picked up a win in the latter 2, trying to pick up a win here tonight.
This is the last of a 3-game home stretch for the Bravos. Braves already 2-0 at home over the 3-game set. They'll be on the road tomorrow for a doubleheader in Brewster. Here's the pitch. Grounded to second. Eblin, underhand scoop to Peck, and that'll do it for the 4th inning. How about that? 3 straight nights, the Braves put a 0 on the Doran Park scoreboard under the number 4 in the visiting run column, and we head to the bottom of the 4th, still with a 1-0 Hyannis lead.
Keep up to speed with the Braves when you're away from Doran Park by visiting our website at bornbraves.org, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Instagram and Facebook. You'll be kept up to date all year long with the Braves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
A night at the ballpark is one of the best ways to spend a summer evening with the family. With free admission to Doran Park and every field on the Cape, you can bring along the entire crew to experience a free night of fun at the park. Catch the best collegiate summer baseball league with the whole family all summer long, with tickets starting and ending at $0. To find the full Braves schedule, head over to our website, bornbraves.org.
This is Braves outfielder Jack Duffy from Polk State College. Go Braves.
Jack Duffy not in the lineup tonight, but still leads the Cape with a .417 batting clip. That just shows you how deep this Braves bench is, as Scott Lander is going with 3 different outfielders tonight. As the Bravos trail at 1-0 in the 4th, Ty Good has continued to do wonders on the mound for Hyannis, but he'll face 4-5-6 second time around through the Braves order. And here's Mr. Takeo Base and Chris Brito to come to home plate for the second time. The Cape Cod leader in ball 4. 11 walks to this point in the season, and this is just the 12th game of the year.
And the Braves have been able to get 1 base runner in each of the first 3 innings against Good, but have not been able to extend the line more than that. Not a better guy to lead things off, 1 with the power of Brito, but 2, like you mentioned, the on-base skills. The league leader in walks, averaging just about 1.25 walks per every strikeout so far.
And BT Dubs, which stands for by the way, I think I'm going to put a trademark to Mr. Takeo Base. I think that's pretty darn good. I got no reaction from you, which I'm going to let slide, but I thought if I had to toot my own horn for a second, that was exceptional.
More than exceptional. I apologize. Next time I'll make sure.
Good got him to pop out in foul territory to the third baseman Jeb last time up. And now after dropping in a breaking ball and throwing a breaking ball by Brito, he's ahead in the count 0-2, working quickly. Here's the pitch. Fastball just a hair off the inside corner.
And if you're to get a guy like Brito who controls the strike zone as well as he does, working in that quick pace is the biggest tactic right here, which is obviously what Good's trying to do.
From 0-2 quickly to 2-2, that's just the art of a Chris Brito at bat. The count is evened on the Braves' first baseman, designated hitting tonight, as Josh Moylan in his return to Doran Park is getting the start at first. Good's 2-2. By him on a changeup for strike 3. You think Ty Good's curveball is good? How about he tosses in the changeup just to put a cherry on top of a sundae of pitches he's got to retire Brito for the first out here on the 4th.
And he starts him with the breaking ball, then goes changeup, then doubles up with the fastball, sets up that changeup again, which gets Brito to swing over the top, out in front as well. Again, incredible sequence. And at this point, it feels like he's used that changeup more than the breaking ball over the last inning and a half.
It's definitely been an off-speed mix, and then when you throw that 87 of the hands, they feel it because the bat is buzzing, as Braves hitters have been late on that pitch tonight. Couple of off-speed pitches here to Peck, and he's fallen in the hole 2-0. Peck popped up softly to the first baseman, Janis, back in the second. It's been a struggle for JP to start this season. 13 strikeouts for the Pepperdine middle infielder. That is 5th for the most Ks in the CCBL. But he's climbed ahead as he's seen all 3 of Ty Good's pitches in this at-bat. Fastball, changeup, and curveball have all missed the zone, so it's 3-0 here to the Braves shortstop. That's in there on a get-me-over fastball. Peck taking all the way for strike 1.
And for a guy like Good, these are the counts you need to win right here. Again, 3-1. Do not allow him to climb back into this one.
The 3-1. Grounded to third. There is Jeb on the backhand. He fires across the diamond in time to retire Peck for the second out.
And that fastball inside in on the hands of right-handers has been its own pitch by itself tonight. He's used that a lot. And again, 3-1. Peck looking for a good pitch to hit, caught it in on the label and hit a soft tapper to Jeb over at third.
was able to make the play with no problem. So now with 2 outs, nobody on, let's see if Josh Moylan, who himself can work a quality at-bat, can get something going.
Moylan with 35 walks this season for East Carolina, bats for his second time, and year number 2 for the Braves. Took a look at strike 3 in his first at-bat, but circling back to Pregame, his ground out to third was just the second ball hit on the ground for the Braves tonight through 3 2/3 innings of work from the Hyannis starter, Ty Good.
And almost everything put in play has been soft contact as well. Even the single from Shaw back in that first inning and the single from Slight. Both were softly hit that dropped in front of outfielders.
That changeup is just continuing to dance away to left-handed batters. Moylan took a big rip but came up empty at that one and is now behind 1-2. Good looking for another 1-2-3 inning. The pitch. Off speed in the dirt. Moylan swings at it. The throw by Ruiz is in time, and Ty Good has thrown 4 scoreless innings here at Doran Park. Harbor Hawks lead it 1-0 as we make the turn for the 5th on the Bourne Braves Television Network.
Not being able to make it to Doran Park is no excuse to miss the Braves in action. You can watch every Bravos home game live on the Bourne Braves Television Network. From stellar pitching performances, dazzling defensive plays, and big-time power displays, you can catch it all from the comfort of your home. It's your favorite Cape League team live on your screen. Just head to the Bourne Braves YouTube and join the fun.
You can catch the Bourne Braves all summer long at Doran Park. With more than 20 home games this season, Braves baseball is just a short drive away, whether you're on or off the Cape. With free admission to every Cape Cod League game, nights at Doran Park provide family fun for everyone. First pitch for all Braves home games is at 6, and you can check out the Bravos' full schedule over at our website, bournebraves.org.
Time to go back to the park. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Welcome back to Doran Park. Top of the 5th inning, cruising through this one here on a gorgeous, picture-perfect night for baseball. One of the larger attendances we've seen so far here at Doran as well. Fans packed down the third base side with their lawn chairs as they are seeing a pitching duel here between Ty Good and the tandem of Cade Boxrucker and Seth Keener. Keener came in relief of Boxrucker back in the 4th inning, was able to twirl a shutout fourth, picking up 2 strikeouts. So he'll look to set down the top of this lineup for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as Mitch Jebb leads things off. Again, 1-0 your score. That coming in the 2nd inning, Dominic Patelli's sacrifice fly. Story tonight, Ty Good, and he's lived up to the name. 4 shutout innings so far, has allowed 2 hits with 4 strikeouts. The first pitch from Keener clips the outside corner for strike 1.
And the positive news for the Braves is he threw 4 scoreless innings in his last appearance against Harwich, but ran into some trouble in the 5th when Brock Wilkin hit a 2-run home run out against him. So, although the Braves are scoreless through 4, and there's no action in the Hyannis bullpen, and why would there be with the stuff that Hyannis is starter Ty Good is featured tonight, Braves still, maybe not the 2nd time through the order, but potentially if it comes to the 3rd time through the order, can come together with a game plan to try to hit the ball off this guy hard.
Walks have been an issue for the pitching staff tonight for the Braves. 5 so far, 1 from Keener, 4 from Boxrucker. But despite that, have been able to get out of trouble. One of the big spots was back in that 3rd inning where Boxrucker got a 4-6-3 double play ball after he had surrendered 2 free passes in that frame. The 2-1 is tapped softly to Eblin. He's got it. He's been busy tonight. He'll throw over in plenty of time to retire Jebb for out number 1. So 1 down. That's now 3 in a row retired from Keener. So that brings up Tito Flores to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to left field into the 1st. Walked back in the 3rd inning.
Braves pitching has done a really good job keeping the top of this Hyannis order at bay. Mitch Jebb, the headliner, coming in. The former legendary Kenosha Kingfish at the top of this Hyannis batting order, 0 for 3 on the evening. Also, Tito Flores, 1 for 2. He has taken ball 4. And although they haven't gotten Cole McConnell out, who's walked twice, the 3 guys who are hitting all over 300 for Hyannis on the season are a combined hitless tonight. 0 for 4, but they have reached base a combined 3 times, all with walks.
So 0-1 the count here on Flores. Justin Janis on deck, Cole McConnell to follow. Here's Keener's 0-1. Breaking ball tapped
to third, fielded in foul territory by Shaw. His throw in the run and pick on the back end by Moylan is a beauty. That is out number 2. No, it looks like they're going to say he came off the bag, excuse me. So that'll be a tough break. Safe at first base is Flores. Would have been a sparkling play on both ends.
And it's rightfully ruled a hit on that play because by no means did that just take average effort for the third baseman Shaw to make down at third. I thought on first reference that Moylan did keep the cleat on the bag, but with no review here in the Cape Cod League, it's going to be a single for Tito Flores, as that's the second thing I've jinxed tonight for the Braves.
I don't believe in the broadcaster's jinx, I'll tell you that.
Really?
I don't. We gotta relay the information.
Well, I'm just telling you. Literally seconds after I said two things haven't happened tonight, they've happened tonight.
It's a coincidence.
Okay, at what point is it a trend?
I think a trend's not a jinx. You got to defend ourselves here. You're giving the.
I'm just saying. I'd like to think I have a lot of power.
Okay, well if you put it like that, I'm okay with it. Count even at 1 here on Justin Janis. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Harbor Hawks looking for more. The next pitch is grounded past the mound. Eblin to his right, fielded to the backhanded side. Flips to Peck for 1. His throw to first base, he got him. This defense continues to shine tonight. A 4-6-3 twin killer, the second of that type to end the 5th inning. Halfway through this one here at Doran Park, 1-0 Hyannis your score. But before that, we're flying through this game. It's time to talk to the speediest talker in Cape Cod and Ethan Frank for Around the Cape.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll go as fast as no, just kidding. I'm going to slow things down. Let's go Around the Cape. We're halfway through here, but they are more than halfway through at Lowell Park, where the Kettleers are trying to avoid losing their second straight game. The YD Red Sox up 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning at Lowell Park. In Harwich, Orleans up 4-0. An early start tonight in Harwich, by the way. Keep a lookout for that. Maybe they'll start their games earlier, get a little more scores in from out at White House Field. The Firebirds, after last night's loss here at Doran Park, are up 4-0 on the Harwich Mariners. Bottom 6 at on the Arnie Allen Diamond. We haven't been to the Arnie Allen Diamond yet. We will get to go next week, though. The Falmouth Commodores, after a big win in Brewster yesterday, trailed the Wareham Gatemen at home 1-0. So not doing much to build off the momentum of last night's big win. Then at Veterans Field, where they've just started their leisurely nightcap of a game because of their very cool 7 p.m. starts out in Chatham, the Anglers already up 1-0 on the Whitecaps in the bottom of the 1st inning. So there you have it. YD up 3-2 on Katuitt, bottom 7. Orleans up 4-0 on the road at Harwich. Wareham up 1-0 on Falmouth, top of the 5th. And Chatham out to an early 1-0 lead on Brewster in the bottom of the 1st. Max, what surprises you about those scores?
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm surprised with the pace right there. You really made a major adjustment right there, Ethan.
Here's my if I can get my 2 cents in, Max. Not only is that game in Katuitt interesting because the Kettleers are on the verge of not getting wins in 3 straight games, Scott Pickler is going for the Cape Cod League record in all-time wins. Tied it last night with the win against Chatham. It'd be very nice if he could get it at Red Wilson Field in front of the home faithful, those passionate Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox fans. But Coach Pick going for win number 540 tonight in Katuitt. That would make him the all-time winningest manager in league history. Trying to get that at Low Park, a really tough place to play. And point number 2 is, it's going to be quite the turnaround for Brewster tomorrow.
Absolutely.
A 7 o'clock start tonight in Chatham, and obviously with no lights tonight and a doubleheader in their ballpark tomorrow, that game starts at 2:30, the first of 2 at Stony Brook Field. So a 7 o'clock game tonight, probably down around 10 on the bus, probably back around 11:30. Then you got to be at the field 11 a.m. tomorrow, so it's going to be a quick turnaround. But as the Cape Cod League is preparing these guys to go to the next level and play in professional leagues, it doesn't get much more than a quick turnaround like that.
Absolutely, and that should be something that the Braves hope to take advantage of tomorrow. Again, the Braves will end things a little bit earlier tonight. So the 0-2 is cut on and missed. 4 strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night as Ty Good continues to rock in a rocking chair. That's his 5th strikeout. His 3 of the last 4 batters he's retired have been via the K as well, all swinging. As this Braves team has really struggled to figure him out so far. We're in the back portion of the second time through the lineup. If they can flip the lineup over. That'll be the third time through here. But again, it's been a 3-pitch mix, that fastball, 12-6 curveball, and the changeup. He's been living on both edges of the plate, and they just can't figure it out so far.
And the changeup has been the pitch that surprised me. Going into this game, the scouting report is the fastball plays faster than the radar gun tells you, and the 12-6 curveball is a devastating pitch that's really more like you stack 2 clocks on top of each other, a 24-6. But the changeup coming in and the way it moves to left-handed batters especially, that down and away movement has really confused these Braves hitters.
And it will move opposite of that 12-6 curveball, which, albeit, breaks more vertically than horizontally, but will still break away from right-handers and into left-handers. So Eblin looking to break out right here as a hitter's count at 2 balls and no strikes. He's 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to left. So the 2-0 is smoked on the ground, right side. That's through into right field for a base hit. So Bryce Eblin picks up the first knock for the Braves all the way back since the second inning. As the tying runs now at first base here with 1 down.
That's got to feel good for Bryce, the guy who was 2 for 26 on the season going into that at-bat. But for a Braves team struggling to see Ty Good, you never know who's going to be one of the first guys to pick him up as Eblin smokes the ball through the right side. And that gives way to another Brave who has really struggled in Ryan Leach, now 2 for 25 to begin his season. Both Eblin and Leach looking to get over that 100-point marker in the batting average category.
Leach flew out to fairly deep left field his last time up. First pitch. Fastball taken just a bit low for ball 1. Leach picked up 1 hit against Chatham on Wednesday. That was a bloop single to right field. At the time, that had snapped an 0 for 14 skid. And it came in a pretty unorthodox fashion. He was set up to bunt with runners on first and second with nobody out. Missed the bunt twice. The 0-1 is a fastball in the outside corner. Count evens up at 1. But then promptly raised Scott Landers with a single to right field to load the bases up for the Braves against those Chatham Anglers. He's looking to keep this one going here. Again, Eblin with good speed takes his lead from first after this single. Here's the 1-1 from Good. Taken down in ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good has gone out of the stretch a couple of times tonight. Again, has allowed a base runner at least once in 3 of his first 4 innings of work. Faced the minimum for the first time back in that 4th inning, where he retired Brito, Peck, and Moylan in order. 1-0 Hyannis, your score. Here's the 2-1. Fastball bites the inner edge, strike 2. Count evens up at 2-2, and that's been the bread and butter tonight for Good, or I should say one of the many bread and butter pitches for him thus far. So Leach looking to battle here with 2 strikes. The swing and miss has been difficult for him, as Calvin mentioned, has punched out 11 times this year. There goes Eblin, the 2-2, swinging a soft ground ball up the middle. The second baseman Moore fields it on the run, throws to first base. That is in time to retire Leach for out number 2, but on the play, Eblin will move to second base. And again, if this ball was hit harder, the second baseman and Moore may have had a chance to turn to, as he was heading over to cover second base, and this ball was hit right at him.
Yeah, kind of a lucky and unlucky play for both sides there, because if you mentioned that the ball was hit harder, it would have been an easy, probably 4-3 double play. But since the ball was hit so lightly and the runner was going, if the runner wasn't going on the play, it probably would have been the shortstop Patelli having to range all the way over and make the throw on the run. Would have been a much more difficult play for the Hyannis infield to make. So they're probably lucky Eblin was off on the pitch, and the Braves are probably lucky it was hit as soft as it was.
Here's the top of the lineup, and Carson Roccaforte coming to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight, trying to snap out of an 0 for 6 skid. He's driven in 1 run this season so far. And again, with Eblin's speed, he's ready to fly here with 2 down. He represents the tying run. Good continues to work at a quick pace. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a flare down the left field side, slicing out a play. Count went even up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And what a big hit this would be for Carson Roccaforte to try to break through. He's now under the Mendoza line after going 0 for 2 to begin the game tonight. Braves have really struggled to put good wood on pitches from Ty Good. Have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. Roccaforte doesn't need to get all this pitch, just needs to find a patch of green to tie this game up.
Next pitch misses down away ball 2, 2-1. Eblin, the first runner to reach second base tonight for the Braves.
And to piggyback off of that point, you probably are assuming Roccaforte's going to get good pitches to hit here, because Good knows the presence of Matt Shaw, who he hasn't gotten out tonight, looms on deck.
Here's his 2-1.
Swinging a bounding ball right side, first baseman, and Janis slides to his right, shovels to the covering pitcher, and good as he applies the tag on the pillow to retire the side. Janis flashing the glove, saving a run as that sends us to the top of the 6th. Hyannis, a slim lead, but a lead nonetheless. They are up 1-0.
The Bourne Braves organization is looking for families willing to host 1 or 2 players for the Cape League season. It generally runs from the first week in June to early August, and the bond between many host families and their players extend beyond the summer and form lifelong friendships. If you are interested in learning more about this opportunity, visit bournebraves.org.
Braves fans living on the Cape far from Doran Park? Too far of a drive to make the trip west on any given night? Well, don't worry, because the Braves are coming to you. The Bravos' full slate of games includes trips to all East destinations, including Orleans, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, and Yarmouth, as well as West Division road trips to Cotuit, Hyannis, down south to Falmouth, and off Cape to Wareham. So wherever you are located on Cape Cod, the Braves will be in your area and are a can't-miss family fun activity. To see the Bravos' full schedule, head over to our website, bournebraves.org, and come join the fun.
Hey, this is Ty Cummings, Braves pitcher from Campbell University, and this is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Ty Cummings is a great friend of the broadcast, particularly for our sideline reporter, Ethan Frank, who we'll hear from a little bit later, just heard around the Cape. Ty, one of the many hard-throwing right-handers out of the bullpen for this Braves team so far this summer. Right now you got Seth Keener on the mound, though, who has been very good tonight so far. Faced the minimum back in the 5th after inducing an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play ball.
Yeah, the Braves pitching staff has been solid. Cade Boxrucker allowing 1 run in 3 innings. Seth Keener 2 scoreless, but they've all been overshadowed by what Ty Good has done. And here's the good news. Good, as we speak, is running with his glove out to the bullpen. So you got to imagine his night is done. I'm sure he got quite the warm welcome back into the dugout after he threw 5 scoreless innings of work, really keeping the Braves on their toes all game long. And you got to tip your cap to Justin Janis, who saved a run with a sliding play over at first base to end that 5th inning.
First pitch on the way to McConnell, swung and tapped, barehanded by Shaw. Throwing the run is not in time, as McConnell has too much speed. He'll beat it out for an infield single. So a leadoff base runner here for the Harbor Hawks as they look for some insurance here in the top of the 6th.
Braves haven't found a way to get Cade McConnell out tonight, on for his 3rd time. 2 walks and now a single. We talked about what he did this season for Louisiana Tech. The guy who had the most RBIs and doubles in all of Conference USA this year has brought that to the Cape this season, upping that .250 batting average, which he came into play with tonight. So Hyannis is now looking for just some insurance to their bullpen, which was used a lot last night. 6 different pitchers came into that Hyannis pen, so they're trying to get what's left of their arms out there in right field, some runs to work with when they do enter the game in the bottom of this inning.
Here's Nolan Shanuel. He's 0 for 2, grounded into an inning-ending ground ball double play in the 3rd. 1-0, misses outside ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So the double play has been a friend of the Braves. The last couple of nights, they have now twirled 2 in each of the last 2 games for a total of 4. Keener could use another right here. Hitters count, however, the 2-0 has popped up foul third base side. 2-1. Shadow's starting to play a role right here. Sun shining on the neck of Shanuel as he digs into the left-hander's batter's box, but everything else in front of him up until the top of the mound in the rubber is shadows. So going from light to dark to light, as there goes the runner. 2-1 is upstairs, thrown into second base from Leach on a hop's not in time, sneaks into center field. Holding at second base, however, will be McConnell. So there's a stolen base for him. He's now at second base here with nobody out. This Harbor Hawks team continues to threat. We mentioned they hadn't been too aggressive on the base paths. 11 for 14 in stolen base attempts this year, good for 7th in the league. But now they've stolen twice tonight.
Yeah, they've been a scrappy bunch, and now with the 3-1 count coming to Shanuel, he's probably looking to do a little bit more than roll one over to the right side of the infield. But for Hyannis, that will no doubt do the job as they want to get that runner to third with less than 2 outs in this inning.
Broken bat, little looper past the mound, fielded by Evelyn on the run. Handles the tricky hop and throws over to first. In time to retire Shanuel. Taking the words right out of your mouth as that moves over McConnell to third.
And you can't say I have zero impact on what's going on. I mean, that's 3 times tonight.
You know what? I'll give you that one. My perspective has changed tonight.
I will give you that.
That is a victory within itself there. I'm going to walk out of this ballpark with a smile on my face regardless of the outcome of this game now.
Hey, I'm happy you put a smile on your face. We'll give you that. Infield now drawn in here with one down. McConnell takes his lead from third base. The first pitch on the way here to Christian Moore is caught on a missed one after a slider for strike one. 0-1.
Moore's been an exciting addition to this Hyannis lineup, has scored their only run of the game tonight. But what a big out it would be if Keener is able to keep this guy in the runner over at third there, that being McConnell, as he's climbed ahead of Moore here 0-2.
Another wipeout breaking ball gets Moore to chase. He's quickly behind 0-2, was just activated today. Picked up a hit in his first at-bat back in the second. Now looking for his first RBI. Seth Keener, meanwhile, has other thoughts. He winds and fires the 0-2. Ground ball right side. Eblin to his left, picks it up, goes to the plate. Tag applied by Leach is in time. McConnell going on the contact play, but Bryce Eblin, who's been everywhere tonight, comes in down at the plate.
What a play by Eblin. Everything needed to go right there because that ball was not hit right at him. With the infield in, the ball's hit right at you is what you were hoping for. But Eblin had to take a step or two there and throw with his feet not planted firmly on the ground. Still delivered a strike. A great tag by Leach was in time, and the Braves get a big, big out there. Are not out of the woods yet because Moore is a threat to steal over there at first as Hyannis looks to put a runner back in scoring position. But what a deep breath Seth Keener can take on the mound.
Keener tripled up with that breaking ball and Moore softly tapped it in play. As this one's tapped as well to short. Peck from deep short will fire across the diamond. That'll retire Ruiz to end the inning. So the Harbor Hawks, after a leadoff single and getting McConnell to third, are not able to bring him around to score. Running to the bottom of the sixth inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up with Matt Shaw leading us off when we head to the bottom of the sixth. 1-0 Hyannis.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
Live baseball every night. It's another summer on Cape Cod.
The lively fastball of Ty Good is out of the ballgame tonight after 5 dominant innings twirled by the right-hander where he struck out 5 batters, limited the Braves just to 3 hits. So they get what maybe to them seems like a break in the right-hander in Austin Strickland.
Yeah, you got to tip your cap to how good was tonight. Really, no pun intended. We've done that all night long, but there has never been a pun intended. He is just a really sharp-looking pitcher, in control from start to finish in his 5-inning outing. But Strickland has been a little bit of a guy who has struggled so far in his Cape campaign. In 4 innings of work, this is actually his 5th inning of work coming tonight, has allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, making his 3rd appearance of the summer. A Kentucky right-hander whose ERA was up near 7 this season for the Wildcats. That was in 24 innings of work. Did strike out 32 guys in those innings, but did give up those 18 earned runs for his ERA to finish at 6.85. So hopefully a guy the Braves can get to, and they'll see a more prototypical wind, kick, and fire from this guy.
Powerful fastball blown past the swing of Shaw for strike 1. 0-1. It'll be Shaw, Hurley, and Brito to start things off here in the bottom of the 6th.
That's the one trade-off, though, Max, is Good kind of turned into a little bit of a junker late in this ball game. Threw the fastball first time around the order, but then really was a change-up curveball guy second time through. you're going to see a lot more velocity from the right arm of Strickland than you did with Good.
Shaw had no problems with Good. Reach base twice, a single and a walk. The 0-2 is fisted foul. Count will stay the same. And I got to ask you, Calvin, what do you think the line was, the over-under on the amount of good puns we were going to make tonight?
I don't think there was. I just think it's tough not to say when a pitcher is talented, you say he's good, and it's just that's his last name. It just happens that way.
Well, you know who's good? Matt Shaw, as he serves a single in the shallow center for a base hit. Third time he's reached tonight against this Hyannis pitching staff, as he picks up his second single as well. Really good piece of hitting on a breaking ball running away. Again, no problem for the product of Maryland, so he'll be at first base to open up this inning.
I'm interested to see, this is something that I've thought about, where they continue to hit Matt Shaw in the lineup. Because to me, I think he's a guy who could do great in the leadoff spot for the Braves. Obviously, Elijah Nunez is your prototypical leadoff hitter. He's been banged up, hasn't seen time in the past couple of games. Coach Landers has elected to go with Carson Roccaforte. But the way this guy Shaw just continues to get on base, to have him at the top of the order, I think is a really good option, albeit there is a lot of solid hitters in this Braves order.
Always has a competitive at-bat, even when he's behind, as the pitch is swung on and missed. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike on Roccaforte. And again, he's a playmaker. He's a spark plug. And, you know, I was asked about him from some of the other broadcast crew members of the Harbor Hawks before the game, and that's how I described him, because it's not just what he does at the plate or even defensively like we talked about, but he runs as there he goes. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Throw down to second is in time to nab Shaw as Ruiz throws a bullet, a dart, for out number 1. So Shaw retired. He'll trot back out towards the third base dugout. And again, to get a guy like Shaw, you have to make a perfect throw, which is what Ruiz did.
Well, it has to be perfect all execution all around. It can't be a very slow delivery like it wasn't from Strickland. It was a fastball up in the zone, a good pitch to throw on if you're Ruiz behind home plate, and then you got to complete it with a good throw and a good tag. All 4 checks in the column there for Hyannis, and that's why they throw at the speedy Shaw trying to nab second base.
So base is empty now, 1 down. 2-2 the count here on Hurley with Brito on deck. Here's Strickland's pitch. Swing and a south tapper, third base side, reached on a backhanded side by Jeb. Throw on the run is not in time. Is safe at first base is Hurley. The ball got away from Jonas. The throw was held onto by the Harbor Hawks first baseman. They probably get Hurley out.
So that's a tough break for the Braves now, because Shaw, there would have been no play for Jeb to go to second base on that play. So the Braves would have runners on first and second with nobody out, as they give that an error on the third baseman, Jeb.
That's a tough call.
That's a really tough call for a guy who's been struggling at the dish in the Cape and Jack Hurley. I'm going to keep the single in my scorebook, although I'm not going to go against the official scorekeeper here tonight. But an E5 is tough there. Tough break for Jack, who's been, like I mentioned, having his tough troubles at home plate for the Braves in his young stint.
Brito cues this off into the bat to the right side. More to his left. Bobbles, recovers, throws over. That's in time to get Brito by a step for out number 2. Meanwhile, Hurley will move into scoring position over to second for John Peck. And to your point right there, Calvin, again for Jeb, this was hit well to his right, cued off the end of the bat, so it had some English on it as well. Had to reach far to his backhanded side, then throw off his heels to first base. And it wasn't even a bad throw. It looked like it handcuffed the first baseman, Janis, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough for Jeb, too, because he is now given an error on that play. So it's tough for Hurley. It lowers the batting average. It's tough for the third baseman, Jeb. It lowers the fielding percentage. But also I want to circle back to that was nubbed off the end of the bat to second base. Moore was able to make the play. But if the Braves don't steal, and granted, I'm not against stealing because the Bravos have had so much success swiping bags this season. That's why they have the second most steals in the league. And I like how aggressive Matt Shaw is on the base pass. But I'm just playing devil's advocate here when I say if Matt Shaw doesn't steal second, there's runners on second and third with 1 out in the inning. As it stands, there's a runner on second with 2 outs, and you need a big clutch RBI here from your shortstop, John Peck.
Picked up a big double in the 8th on Wednesday. Needs a big hit right here in the 6th as he takes up and in for ball 1. Peck is 0 for 2, popped out to first in the second, grounded out to third on a 3-1 pitch against Good back in the 4th.
In what we've seen in the small sample size of John Peck this summer, it seems like his power alley is out to right center field. And how big right field plays here at Doran Park. There is a lot of green grass out there. That's where he ripped his double the other night.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball drops over the heart of the plate, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it looks like a different look from Strickland right there. Again, looked like he was showing more of a sweeping slider before, but just dropped in a get-me-over breaking ball. So now he's ahead big time here against Peck. Hurley at second base represents the tying run. He'll be going on contact with 2 outs. Second baseman Moore ranging up the middle. The 1-2 is hit softly, shallow left. Backpedaling is Patelli, the shortstop. He makes the catch on the outfield grass in shallow left to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 runner left on here in the bottom of the 6th for the Braves. It's been all pitching tonight as we head to the back third of this ball game. Top of the 7th coming up, 1-0 Hyannis your score.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
Grab your hot dog and your lawn chair. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Beautiful night for a hot dog and a lawn chair here at Doran Park. A beautiful night for a Braves win as they trail 1-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Had an opportunity back in the 6th, of course, with Hurley at second base with 2 down. But again, another runner stranded. Just a couple of runners in scoring position tonight for the Braves, however, is pitching has been the story. Ty Good, fantastic through 5, and then a scoreless inning of relief from Strickland.
Yeah, but how about the pitching on the Braves side? Underrated, Seth Keener has thrown 3 really solid, confident innings out of the Braves' pen. And if you can get 7 innings, call it a piggyback start, call it whatever you want, from the combination of Boxrucker and Keener allowing just 1 earned run. You can't ask for much more if you're a Braves fan in this contest.
Here's Dominic Patelli to lead it off. He shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. It'll be 8-9-1. Patelli, Matulia, and Jeb to open up things here in the top of the 7th inning. Keener working quickly. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Just misses a bit low as the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Patelli 0 for 1 tonight. Has been retired twice, technically speaking, but the first time he was retired was on that sacrifice fly to center, which drove in tonight's only run. A weak swing and a miss on a breaking ball as he goes 3/4 of the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. So Keener, in his 3rd inning of relief now, the 1-2 is pounded on the first base side and foul. Count will stay at 1-2. And correction, actually, what will be his 4th inning of relief. He has gone 3 innings so far tonight. Like you said, Calvin, scoreless. Has gotten into some trouble a couple of times, but got a 4-6-3 twin killer in the 5th. Was able to evade a leadoff single the inning after that as the next pitch is spoiled foul again. Count stays at 1-2.
And the slider has really been on full display tonight with Keener. You want to take a microcosm out of his night. Just look at this at bat. Got a really weak effort swing by Patelli on a slider that he was completely baffled by down and in. Has worked ahead 2-1, 1-2. And if I had to guess, I think a slider is going to put him away on this pitch.
Here it is. Swinging a hard line drive left center field on his horse's Hurley. He's going to have to play this on a hop in the alley. A leadoff single for Patelli opens things up in the top of the 7th.
And I fall to 3 for 4 tonight. As that with the fastball, and instead of putting it away, it was roped into center field for a base hit. So Hyannis for the 2nd straight inning with a leadoff base runner on first base. Last time around, that was McConnell who led off with a single. He stole second, moved over to third on another 1 out. Instead, no out, ground ball to the right side. Hyannis couldn't get him in, though, as it looked like a ground ball would have, but a really good play with the infield drawn in by Bryce Eblin throwing out the runner at home. And then Keener got out of the jam by retiring Ruiz on a ground ball to the shortstop Peck.
Here comes Scott Landers to the mound. He's going to take the ball from his right-hander in Keener, as that'll close the book on him. He'll be responsible for Dominic Patelli at first base, as it looks like Nelson Berkowicz will be coming into this ballgame in relief to face Philip Matulia with one on and nobody out. We're going to take a quick break here in the top of the 7th. Nelson Berkowicz will tell you all about him when we come back.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
The 2021 West Division champs are defending their title. Now back to Born Braves baseball.
Nelson Berkowicz out for his second outing of the year. In relief of Seth Keener, who was good tonight. 3 innings, did not allow a run, but he will be responsible for Dominic Patelli over at first base. But Berkowicz looking to bail him out.
Yeah, second inning of work for Nelson of the season. Second appearance, I should say. Had a 2-inning outing against YD and was roughed up a little bit. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Did punch out 2 guys. But struggled in his second appearance. Struggled in his first appearance, looking to bounce back in his second appearance. The Vanderbilt left-hander. At the time was working with a Vanderbilt battery mate in Alan Espinal. Ryan Leach is the catcher tonight. But he's trying to get through this 7th inning unscathed and keep this a 1-run ball game as Hyannis has the insurance run and leadoff runner over on first base in Patelli, who lined his single into center field, which chased Keener out of this ball game.
And you alluded to it. His last outing was the Vanderbilt special, to say the least. You had Alan Espinal behind the plate and Bryce Cunningham starting that game. Of course, Berkowicz came out in relief. That won a game the Braves dropped 8-4 last Tuesday against the YD Red Sox. They're looking for a win here tonight, just down by 1. Berkowicz trying to keep it that way. Here's Philip Matulia to the plate. He's 0 for 1, walked in the second, stole a base, and grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice to put a period on the 4th.
And maybe a part of the decision to put Berkowicz in this game is to try to control the running game a little bit. Hyannis has been really aggressive stealing bases, especially with nobody out in an inning, trying to get that guy into scoring position where a productive out moves him over to third. So Berkowicz with the left-hander, a little bit tougher to steal on a lefty, and a good catcher with a good arm in Ryan Leach behind home plate is a much tougher tandem to try to swipe a bag on.
A good snap move over to first base. As you mentioned, Hyannis has stolen 2 bases today, one of which from the man at the plate in Matulia, so he can run as well. Sam showing bunt, the third baseman Shaw playing a step or 2 in front of the bank at third. Middle infielder's back in double play depth. There's another close move to first base. Patelli gets back in safely. Patelli 9 for 13 in stolen base attempts at Miami University this year. And stolen 1 base so far here on the Cape. 0-1 the count now. Another move to first base. Patelli will get back in safely.
They're going. I mean, they're an aggressive team trying to get a win here at Doran Park. They can taste it. Up 1-0 here in the late innings. We approach the last third of this ball game. They're trying to get that runner in scoring position however they can.
0-1 pitch. Matulia bunts through that one for strike 2. So the count quickly moves in favor of Berkowicz here. He struck out 2 batters in 2 innings his last time out.
And one of the ways they're trying to move him over is with the bunt here, but Matulia fouled the first one back and then didn't hit a pitch down the middle in the second one. So now that the bunt is off, In an 0-2 count, which usually screams an off-speed pitch is coming, this could be the time where the runner in Patelli is going.
0-2 is swung on and popped up. Left side of the infield, shallow left center. Peck twisting and turning back towards the middle of the diamond. He's there to make the catch for out number 1.
And that's a really big out because it's an unproductive out by the batter in Matulia, and it keeps the runner over at first base. Can't get the bunt down on 2 tries, and then a pop-up, an easy play for the shortstop in Peck. Is now the lineup turns over with that runner still standing with Josh Moylan over at first base.
So here's Mitch Jebb. He flew out to left and is grounded out twice. And lefty on left right here, Berklich would love to induce a ground ball. Both the 3rd and the 5th innings ended on a double play for this Hyannis offense. So looking to extend this frame right here. Patelli takes his lead from first. The first pitch is tapped softly. First base line will roll foul. 0-1.
Braves have done a great job of keeping this guy off the bases tonight. We talked about how dangerous he was coming into this game. So he's 0 for 3. Hyannis fans feel like he's due at home plate. But after grounding out to second, like you mentioned, his last time up, the 4-6-3 double play combination in Eblin and Peck, who have played together now for 6 times this season. The most coupled middle infield tandem we've seen for the Braves this season. They can spin it. Would love another one here.
0-1 buried in the dirt. Caught off guard is the runner at first base in Patelli. He'll get back in safely after a snap throw attempt from Leach. So the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Jebb, a guy who you got to be careful with. 5 for his last 16 entering tonight. Again, to start off his season. 3 extra base hits as well. 5 for his last 7 over the last 2 ball games. Coming to Doran as well. Check over to first base. Back in safely is Patelli. So the count even at 1. Just a slim 1-run lead here for Hyannis. That run came back in the 2nd inning off the sacrifice fly from Patelli. A run on 5 hits and error for the Harbor Hawks. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Braves, who have played a very clean game defensively tonight so far. 1-1. Fastball sizzles past the knees for strike 2. 1-2. Game started with Boxrucker for 3. 3+ from Keener. Of course, Patelli at first still belongs to him, and now they've passed the torch on to Berklich. Gets the pitch he wants. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Got him on the outside corner. Perfectly placed by Berklich. Picks up his first strikeout of the night to a batter who doesn't strike out in Mitch Jebb.
Yeah, we talked about those numbers, but just to tell you how rare it is, we'll circle back to it. This guy was the best in the Big Ten and 17th in the nation, striking out just once every 14 at-bats, not plate appearances, at-bats. So this guy does not strike out. And for Berklich to get a light pop-up into short left field for the first batter to retire Matulia, and then to get Jebb looking.
As the pickoff attempt gets away from the first baseman Moylan, so heading to second base, standing up goes Patelli. So there's the first error since Tuesday's game against YD. This one will be an E1 on Berklich. A tough break as that pushes Patelli into scoring position.
And my next words were to keep that runner over at first base. But apparently, I've fallen to 3 for 5.
I think maybe you jinxed your perfect score so far.
That's true. I'll take that. You know, I'm up to 4 for 6.
So does that get you 4 for 6?
Yeah, I'll take that.
A little paradoxical, but
that's a good point.
We'll play with
no,
it.
I'll take that. That's a good point. But just an unfortunate bounce there for the Braves, trying to keep that runner at bay and Patelli over at first base. And now we'll just take a single for Tito Flores, who's already got a hit tonight, to give Hyannis an all-important 2-run lead here in the 7th.
That hit is single back in the 5th. He's reached base twice as Patelli goes for 3rd. The next pitch is pounded down the third base line and foul. No balls, 2 strikes. So.
That's something I've been surprised with. All summer, guys have been swiping third base, and it hasn't been like they've been thrown out all the time. I'm really surprised when they do it with a left-handed hitter at home plate, allowing the catcher to have a clear path down to 3rd.
And 2 outs.
At least Flores is a righty, and you're right, because what's the Cardinals' sin of base running? Making the final out of the inning at third base, or the first or third out. But to make the third out of the inning at third base when you're already in scoring position, and a guy with plus speed in Flores, I just don't get it in this situation.
0-1. Looked like a changeup that just fades off the outer edge. Berklich wanted it. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And to your point, Patelli has good speed out there. He'll be going on contact with 2 down. if the hitter in Flores is able to find the outfield grass, there should be no question that Patelli is scoring.
I guess the only thing it does is it allows you to score on a pass ball wild pitch or an infield single.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses inside, ball 2, goes to the opposite edge of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Justin Janis on deck, a threatening bat indeed. And then Cole McConnell after him if the inning extends that far. Flores just focused on picking up a base hit or at least keeping the inning alive. Again, 1-0, Hyannis your score. Patelli reached on the single lead off the frame. He goes for third again. The 2-1 is taken up and away, ball 3. The catcher and Leach didn't even pop out of the crouch. So the count moves to 3-1 now. That'll be a stolen base for Patelli. His first of the night, second of the season, third from this Hyannis offense in total.
And I get it. I mean, he has a jumping lead. He's not being held on. Berkwich is completely focused on getting the batter out here. I guess if that's the case, it's a pretty good move.
3-1 is taken down low for ball 4, so a walk to Flores. That'll be the second walk surrendered by Berkwich this summer. Sets up a first and third spot here for Justin Janis. And this is the exact spot that the Harbor Hawks looking for right here, albeit 2 outs. But a guy who's been swinging it better than anyone in this lineup and just coming off a tremendous season at Illinois Champaign.
This game right now, with it up in the air, Hyannis can really put a stamp on this ball game if Janis can lift one into the gap here. The way the Braves have struggled at home plate, albeit playing against a really good starter in Ty Good, Hyannis has had a 1-0 lead. They've had opportunities to extend it so far tonight, hasn't capitalized. On the other side, though, what a win it would be for Berkwich and the Braves to keep this a 1-run game, still with 9 outs to play with, against a taxed Harwich bullpen.
Flores takes his lead from first, Patelli from third. Time now called. Berkwich, the second pitcher used out of the bullpen. It started with Keener. Again, for Scott Landers, only 3 arms available for his bullpen tonight. Keener, who we saw, Berkwich on the mound currently, and then Mason Pelio the third. So he's likely hoping that he can get multiple innings out of Berkwich here. As the 1-0 is found straight back. Count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Janis singled all the way back in the first inning. He jumped on a first pitch fastball from Boxrucker and seared a low line drive through the left side of the infield in the left 4-base hit. He's looking to shorten up and pick up a knock right here. Infield playing back. Lights now fully in play here as the sun continues to set. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a bounding ball right side. Eblin has it on the long hop. With a lot of swagger, will toss over to first base to retire Janis to end the inning. Great work from Nelson Berkwich as he gets out of trouble here in the top of the 7th. With that, we're going to send things to Ethan Frank before the 7th inning stretch. Ethan, take it away.
Thank you very much, Max. The Braves coming to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning and really looking to get something going offensively. It just has not been their night at the plate right now. And I actually was listening into what Coach Scott Landers and assistant coach Jared Saltalamacchia, thank you, Ty, we're talking about in terms of an offensive approach at the plate. And it's really trying to attack fastballs right now. The Braves have been getting deep into counts, so just working at putting the ball in play right now is what's got to do for the Braves if they want to rally. They've got 9 outs to work with. We'll see what happens.
Thank you for that, Ethan. Once again, Ethan Frank, with a little bit of help from some of the other pitchers down the sideline over there. And again, talking about that approach, we saw it with Ty Good tonight. It was full-fledged on that changeup and that curveball. We saw them second time through start to jump on that fastball early in counts.
Yeah, and that's what they got to attack against a guy like Strickland who wants to feature his fastball. That is his big-time velocity pitch. That is his bread-and-butter offering. It'll take a good effort here from the bottom of the Braves order. It starts with Josh Moylan. Can the big man make a splash in his debut for the Braves in 2022? Hasn't had the best of starts, a strikeout looking and then a strikeout swinging. But a base hit here could really jumpstart a Bourne Braves offense that, like Ethan and like you alluded to, just 4 hits tonight, but it feels like it's been less than that because they've all been singled and they've all been scattered.
So it'll be Austin Strickland out for his second inning of work. And again, the Braves were able to put some pressure on him. Got the leadoff single from Shaw, who was caught stealing. Hurley reached on what was ruled an E5. And then Brito and Peck would promptly ground out and pop out. So 6, 7, and 8 due up here. Here's Josh Moylan. And again, like you said, Calvin, a great opportunity to reinsert himself into the hearts of the Braves fans here tonight. As the first pitch is taken down low for ball 1.
Moylan 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Once looking in the second inning, another time swinging in the fourth. Both were against Good. 1-0 is skied third base side out of play. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. A very calm evening at the ballpark tonight. Again, it was just about 78 degrees at first pitch. One of the hotter days we've had on the Cape over the last couple of weeks. The 1-1 is on its way. Misses down away ball 2.
I'd say the hottest.
I would say that too. I was a little bit cautious because I wasn't quite sure, but I walked into the ballpark today with these long pants because we had talked about it so many times this summer.
Good.
I learned.
Because right now,
it's perfect.
Exactly.
I got to tip my cap to you for that. As the 2-1 is a perfect backdoor breaking ball in the outside corner. County is up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I think with how calm and perfect it is outside tonight, I think it's fitting that we have a very almost perfectly played baseball game, very efficient so far. As this one is smoked high in the air, deep center field. McConnell back towards the track, reaches up in front of the wall to make a grab for out number 1. A loud out off the bat of Josh Moylan.
Yeah, he gets a barrel to it. We talked about this earlier. It goes a long way. Unfortunately for Josh, he hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark. Hit it to the deepest area out there in center field, right by that 395 marker. It took a good play by McConnell to track that down. He pulls that to right. It's in the Hyannis bullpen. He pulls that, or instead goes the other way with it to left. It's in the Braves bullpen. Probably over it, actually. But just where he hit it 380 feet, just to the deepest part of the yard.
395 feet to straightaway center over there. As McConnell heads back to his straight-up spot. 1-0 the count here on Evan Slide. He's 1 for 2 this evening. Picked up a single back in the second as the next pitch grazes the outside corner. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And I think that's the closest we've seen a Brave to hitting a home run here at home so far. Again, through 11-plus games now, 12 here in total as the next pitch is swung on and missed. The Braves have hit 3 home runs, but all of them on the road. Strickland from the windup nods his head emphatically. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for out number 2. As Slight is set down on strikes for the second time tonight. 2 up, 2 down here for Strickland in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They'll send up Bryce Eblin to the plate. Eblin came up
second baseman, number 2, out of Alabama,
against Ty Good with 1 down and hit a hard top-spinning one-hopper through the right side of the infield for his first hit of the night. It's third on the season, so now 3 for 27 on the campaign. Looking to piece together his first multi-hit effort of the summer so far. Ryan Leach, the catcher, on deck as well. Here's the first pitch from Strickland. Runs outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
And that game has gone final at Lowell Park. So there is a new all-time wins leader in the history of the Cape Cod Baseball League. That is Scott Pickler, the manager of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Wins his 540th career game in the Cape. Tip your cap to Coach Pick and his Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They beat the Katuitt Kettleers 5-3 in a ballpark that is very tough to win in. Katuitt now a tie in back-to-back losses. So either one of these teams, a Braves win gets them 2 points closer. A Hyannis win jumps the Braves in the standings. It gets them 2 points closer to a Katuitt team that now drops to 2-9-1. But not the point here, as Coach Pickler is the all-time winningest coach in the Cape Cod League history. What an accomplishment for Coach Pickler and his 2022 Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox.
Absolutely. 2 of those coming earlier this week against these very Braves, who saw them 3 times. The other was a tie. So the 2-2 is yanked down and in for ball 3. Count runs full at 3-2. And I think it's fitting that it comes against a historical team, or I should say a team with a historical start in those Katuitt Kettleers, as they start to show some morality after not being defeated through their first 10 games of the year. 3-2, just spoiled foul. Evelyn just gets a piece. Count will stay full at 3-2.
And this is a big-time at-bat here for Bryce Eblin because it does a couple of things. It puts a speedy guy on base with 2 outs in the inning. And although there's 2 outs and the struggling Ryan Leach waits on deck, if Eblin gets on first base, not only does a steal is on, Eblin's up, and at the minimum, the top of the order will lead off the next inning.
3-2, taken up and away for ball 4. So Ryan Leach will get an opportunity here as Eblin reaches for the second time tonight. It's the first free pass allowed by Strickland.
Out of Marshall, Ryan
and we'll
Leach.
see if Scott Landers is aggressive with Eblin over there at first base, who has good speed. Again, if he could advance himself into scoring position, would likely put Leach a base hit away from tying the game up. Braves have attempted to steal just once tonight. That was Matt Shaw back in the 6th. He was thrown out by Pancho Ruiz. 1-0 Hyannis, your score here in the bottom of the 7th. Braves looking to get something going. Eblin takes his lead from first. First pitch, fastball misses inside ball 1-0, and a very aggressive follow-through from Strickland as he comes down the mound at 6 feet 2 inches tall, 205 pounds. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses inside ball 2-0, and you could tell there's some late run on that pitch right there on both of those pitches, which missed inside. Leach offered at them, but then quickly decided to hold back. So what is he going to get here? 2-0, looking for a pitch to drive, again, with the large alley in right center. And Eblin going on contact may be able to score all the way from first base. Big lead for him. There he goes. 2-0 is found straight back. Count moves to 2-1. Maybe the hit and run was on there, but Eblin just got a tremendous jump.
I don't think the hit and on would be on there 2-0. I just think it was a good pitch for Leach to handle. And with Eblin in motion, it made sense to swing at it. Not even a look over to first base allowed Eblin to get a walking lead as Strickland really paid no attention to him. And Bryce said, if I can extend my lead 6, 8, 10 feet, okay, yeah, I'm gone.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball over the heart of the plate. A good rip from Leach. But the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson Roccaforte at the top of the order on deck. Leach looking for his first hit of the night right here. Braves have 4 of them. Most recently back to open up the 6th off the bat of Shaw. Another good jump from Eblin. The pitch is a breaking ball that just misses a bit outside. Really close pitch right there. Eblin will take second base non-contested. So he's in scoring position now with 2 down. And the count runs full, 3-2 on the catcher and Leach.
That was a stone-cold take right there by Ryan Leach. Granted, he knows the strike zone. He's been catching the game all night, but that is a tough one to take in a 2-strike count.
Payoff offering. Breaking ball pounded down the third base line and foul. Count will hold at 3-2. And again, a really close spot. But Leach spat on it. And again, the catcher in Ruiz likely just stuck his glove there because, 1, the jump from Eblin, but 2, trying to get that strike 3 call.
And what a hit it would be for Ryan Leach here, a guy who's really struggled. 2 for 26 on the Cape this summer. But the game's getting late here. 2 away in the 7th, tying run on second base. Can Leach find a place to put this baseball to bring home Bryce Eblin from second?
3-2. Swinging a ground ball down the third base line, also foul. Just past the outstretched glove of Jeb as it rolls down the left field line. Count will stay 3-2. And Jeb right there looked to be hugging the third base line just a little bit. And again, Leach has pounded a couple balls in that direction as Strickland continues to pound him inside. May set up a breaking ball running the opposite direction, or he may decide to stick with that heater. Again, a very good at-bat here from Leach. Here's the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. He got him with a sweeping breaking ball as that will retire this side. Could not have come at a better time for Strickland as that strands a speedy Eblin representing the tying run at second base. That jumps us to the top of the 8th. Hyannis leads it 1-0.
Can first pitch not come soon enough? Well, don't worry. Before the Bravos has you covered. Starting 15 minutes before first pitch at home or on the road, Before the Bravos has the pregame insight and analysis you need to get game ready. From exclusive interviews, a first look at the opposition, lineup breakdowns, and so much more, Before the Bravos is the best place to start your evening of baseball. Before the Bravos, 15 minutes before first pitch, every game day, live on the Born Braves YouTube stream.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they are investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
Time to go back to the park. This is Born Braves Baseball.
While the Braves offense struggles to figure things out late in this game, it's up to the Braves pitching staff to keep this a one-run contest as we begin the top half of the 8th inning, and it's the second inning of work for Nelson Berkwish, who worked out of a pretty dangerous jam in his inning in the 7th.
Absolutely, and despite the one walk, he looked very good, was able to pick up the strikeout to Jeb, which has seemed impossible nationwide for any collegiate pitcher, and was able to induce the ground ball off the bat of a very tough bat in Justin Janis. Now, for the first time tonight, gets a clean slate, nobody on base here to open up this inning. But you got to start things off against Cole McConnell, who's definitely a daunting bat.
McConnell, the only guy in this Hyannis lineup the Braves have yet to retire tonight. Walked in the 1st and in the 3rd, and then singled and stole a base in the 6th.
For Hyannis, the center fielder, number 32, out of Louisiana Tech.
The good news for the Braves, this guy has not scored, as Hyannis' only run came in the 2nd. That's when Christian Moore singled, went to 2nd on a wild pitch, moved to 3rd on a ground ball to the right side, and then scored on the sacrifice fly by the shortstop Patelli. Berkowitz, the Vanderbilt product, looking to make this game remain 1-0 when the Braves hit in the 8th, and when they do, they'll have the top of their order. It'll be Roccaforte, Shaw, and Hurley. He quickly climbed ahead of McConnell here, 0-2. Looking to put him away and keep a dangerous batter off of the base pass. Here's the 0-2, punched up the middle, Peck on 2 hops on the run. He makes the play for the first out.
That's a nice play by Peck right there, who's hasn't been challenged too much over there at shortstop. It's mostly been Bryce Eplin over at second base. Again, this one had some English on it, swirling back in his direction. Was able to pick it up ankle high and in one motion make the throw over to first base. For a big out number 1, as that takes speed off the base paths as well.
And for a Braves team who, coming into tonight's game, led the league in errors, has played a really clean ball game. There is a 1 in the error column tonight, but that came on a pickoff attempt, where Moylan couldn't fish out a ball in the dirt and had moved the runner from 1st to 2nd at the time. But other than that, the defense has played stellar. A couple of nice plays by Matt Shaw. The middle infield has turned a pair of double plays in this one. Another good play there by John Peck, fielding a ground ball softly hit on the run to get a big first out of this 8th inning.
And a couple of lefties to start off here for Berkowitz, and again, he continues to pound inside. A couple of fisted balls, both off the bat of McConnell, and that foul ball from Shanuel.
And he's back ahead of another batter, 0-2. Here it is. Wave and a miss. He got him strike 3. Nelson Berkwish is a man on a mission here to begin this 8th inning.
Nothing better than setting down the opposer on 3 pitches. He goes with a couple pitches inside, then finishes with a pitch running away from the left-hander Shanuel. Of course, went after it for Berkwich's 2nd strikeout, first swinging.
Community College, Riku Nishida.
Riku Nishida is the pinch hitter here for Hyannis. He replaces Christian Moore, whose night is over. 1 for 3 he went. Did single and score the only run. Lefty on lefty, Nushima squaring to bunt, but it's foul for strike 1.
And Nushida, a speedy left-handed hitter out of Japan, went to high school where Yu Darvish went to high school, which is just a fascinating story. One of the more fun players we're going to see on the Cape here this summer. I was talking to some of the guys over with the Harbor Hawks before the game, and they just talked about a very unique approach for him, always battling with 2 strikes. Again, more of your stereotypical slap hitter. So it's going to be a fun watch. A guy with good speed as well, so Berkowitz has got to be careful.
It doesn't have a very commanding presence, as you can see on your screen. The size comparison as he stands up next to the catcher, Ryan Leach, who now crouches behind home plate before this 0-1 pitch. Nishida's a tough out, but Berkowitz trying to go through him to retire this side in order and keep this a 1-run game. But the Braves have just 6 outs left to play with and still a 0 in the run column. Breaking ball twists Nishida in, and it's 1-2 as Berkowitz has worked ahead in this inning.
And Berkwich's stuff plays really good to lefties, so a tough at-bat off the bench for Nishida.
The Braves pitching staff has been really good tonight. The 1-2 misses in the dirt, 2-2.
And you can see with every take, he is incredibly emphatic with it, trying to see the ball as deep as he can. And generally, that's the approach for any hitter, of course, when they're taking a pitch. Try to watch it all the way as it goes into the catcher's glove, but for Nishida, a little bit extra on it.
He gets really low in the batter's box, trying to shorten that strike zone to make it as small as possible. And like you said, waits for that ball to get really deep as he slaps one foul at the last second third base side. Cade Boxrucker started this game for the Braves. He's on the hook, allowed 1 run in 3 innings. Berkwich is the third pitcher to see the mound for the Braves tonight after Seth Keener threw 3 scoreless innings. 2 quick outs to start this 8th, but trying to get a pesky batter in Nishida out, who's worked the count back to 3-2. On the outside corner, he caught him looking, strike 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Harbor Hawks in the 8th, and what an inning it was for Nelson Berkwich. The defense and the pitching does its job. Can the bats come alive for some more late inning magic? The Braves looking to come back from a 1-0 hole as we play in the bottom of the 8th on the other side.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick, Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax-deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
BourneBraves.org, the official website of the Bourne Braves, is your one-stop shop for everything Bravos. From directions to the ballpark, the full game schedule, team information, game recaps, roster news, and more. BourneBraves.org is the place to go for information on your favorite team on the Cape.
This is Bourne Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Radio Network. You can listen to all 22 Braves regular season contests away from Doran Park here on our YouTube live stream. Can't make it to Chatham? 2-1 out for Wareham? Too busy for Brewster? Not to worry. Just search the Bourne Braves on YouTube, sit back, relax, and enjoy a summer night listening to your favorite team on the Cape.
On our way back to Doran Park, it's time for some more Bourne Braves baseball.
Number 3, Riku Nishida will remain in the game at second base.
The Braves are quickly up against it here with just 6 outs left to play with. Hyannis' lead sits at 1-0 as we make our move to the bottom of the 8th. Nishida stays in the game. He'll replace Moore at second base. And Jay Driver, the hard-throwing Ivy Leaguer, is the first guy to face the Braves here on the 8th as he's the new pitcher into this ballgame.
And a herky-jerky motion, a 3/4 arm slot. Looks like it's going to be another uncomfortable at-bat for these Braves bats here in this 8th inning. But again, huge spot for them right now. Now have 6 outs to work with, down by 1. The good news, the top of your order coming up. For Driver's last outing was a tough one, was handed the loss after blowing a save. Went an inning and 2/3, 3 runs, all 3 of them were earned. Allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. The Braves trying to feed off of that a little bit. Meanwhile, Traver trying to revert back to himself from the previous 2 outings where he pieced together 2 scoreless innings, picked up the save in his debut on the 13th against Orleans as well.
And it was funny to see during that half inning, the Braves' in-house Ivy League expert in Wyatt Hensler was giving everyone coming up some little tidbits of what they could see from Jay Driver, his in-conference foe. Driver, a local guy from Wellesley, Mass., making his 4th appearance for Hyannis on the Cape, and he'll get the top of the Braves' order as Carson Roccaforte bats for the 4th time, still looking for his first hit of the evening. Has flown to right and has grounded to the right side twice.
And if there's one source I want for an opposing Ivy League arm, I think I'm going to choose Wyatt Hensler 100% of the time.
A guy who tore up the Ivy League, hitting at over a 385 clip this season for his Penn Quakers, the Ivy League runner-ups. Hitting, though, as we both know, is much easier said than done.
Absolutely.
As Roccaforte's climbed behind in a 1-2 hole. Driver looking to start this 8th inning quietly, the 1-2. Misses away, and that's the 2-seam fastball we're going to see Driver feature a lot.
And it's from that 3/4 arm slot. And again, to these lefties like Roccaforte and Hurley, who's due up 3rd, it's going to run away from them. For Shaw, however, it's a similar look to what we saw with Good, pounding inside.
Broken bat, looper sinking fast into right, falling fast, and it is down there, a base hit. So Roccaforte loses his second bat of the night, but hey, he'll take it. That is a base hit the Braves desperately needed to start this inning, and now there's a runner on with the dangerous Matt Shaw coming to home plate.
And it puts tremendous speed over there at first base as well. And the better news, like you said, Shaw coming to the plate, who's just been fantastic. He's reached base all 3 times tonight. He's now 5 for his last 6. So let's see if he could come up with a big knock. It was Dakota Harris on Wednesday night, a perfect spot as the stage is set for Shaw here in the 8th on Saturday.
So do the Braves have more late inning magic in them? This was the inning where they scored 2 to take the lead against Chatham on Wednesday night.
And with that two-seam fastball running into Shaw, this is a perfect ground ball opportunity for him to induce a pitch like that, pairing it, of course, with the breaking ball that has a lot of sweep to it. So if I'm Shaw right there, they've pounded you inside this entire night. I can't expect that the approach changes right here.
So Roccaforte is the runner on first, and I don't want to make this about me, but if you've heard our commercials, my family last year won the 50-50 raffle to get a gift card to an ice cream shop, local one.
And they're in attendance today.
And guess what they've done again?
Oh, no. Did they win? They won?
Ice cream shop again.
Wow.
Back-to-back like Jordan 96-97.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. It's fate. I mean, you guys might need to buy a steak in that ice cream shop now.
So you can catch me going across the bridge, not to visit you guys in Buzzards Bay, but to get myself an ice cream cone.
I mean, can we join?
Probably, but you're paying for yourself. The count has gone to 0-2 on Matt Shaw, which usually doesn't mean much the way this guy scratches and claws in the batter's box. He's 3 for 3, instead 2 for 2 with a walk tonight. This one gets to the backstop, and walking into second base is Carson Roccaforte. So a big-time break for the Braves after a broken bat looping single and then a wild pitch straight to the backstop. They suddenly have a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight with nobody out in an inning.
And we mentioned back yesterday against Orleans, it was that 6th inning where they caught a couple breaks with the strikeout wild pitch and the bloop single. Well, here we go. 2 breaks right here, a bloop single to shallow right and a wild pitch to the backstop. They were able to take advantage of it last night. Can they do it again right here?
So Matt Shaw, who usually swings for the downs every time he's at home plate, just needs to look to put one through the right side. As the second baseman Nishida is holding the runner on at second base, there is a gaping hole over there. The 1-2 spoiled away that time. Watch your lips if you're in the Hyannis dugout. Looks like all the orange hats over there duck out of the way. So it's a harmless foul ball as Matt Shaw stays alive, still up against it here, 1-2.
And there was that slider running outside, well off the plate. Shaw just wailing his bat out there, was able to just get a piece to spoil it foul.
Braves are the runner in scoring position. Nobody out in the inning. And a good job laying off a pitch way outside the zone. Shaw has even this count at 2-2.
And he is not letting anything get by him right now. You can see that one was about 3-4 inches off the plate, but again, still seeing it deep just to make sure it doesn't have any of that arm side run to catch the outside corner of the plate.
The tying run in this game, Carson Roccaforte is on second base. In the best opportunity the Braves have had all night to score their first run. Chop to third, Roccaforte is going. It's off the glove of the third baseman, Jeb, and into short left field. Roccaforte scores, and just like that, this game is tied in the 8th inning.
And there's your break. Again, Roccaforte with the third baseman and Jeb coming well off the bag, was able to go to third with ease, glances off the glove of Jeb, rolls in the shallow left field for the base hit, and Roccaforte with his speed, as we mentioned, able to score without a problem. And now they have an opportunity to keep this line moving. Of course, tied at 1 apiece, but you still have good speed over there on first base. 3, 4, and 5 to up right here. Let's see them go.
So whatever is in that special 8th inning cooler the Braves have in that dugout, keep drinking it if you're the Bravos, because for the second night in a row, there has been magic in the 8th. A broken bat looping single started this inning. A wild pitch to the backstop put Roccaforte in scoring position. Then chopper down the third that just ate up Jeb off of his glove and into left field, allowed Roccaforte to score from second. Shaw is on first, and you always have to worry about his speed. Still, with nobody out here in this inning.
And it looks like they will rule it an E5 on Jeb, as there's a meeting at the mound right now. Some action in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Our right-handers starting to warm up, and this is where you see the momentum start to flip. It's been all Hyannis tonight, especially with Ty Good and the groove he was in earlier tonight. But this is an incredible opportunity for Jack Hurley to break out. A good matchup for him, the left-handed swinger against a good righty and driver who's really struggled, particularly under pressure now for 2 consecutive outings. We mentioned back against Harwich on the 20th last Monday. An inning and 2/3, allowed all 3 runs to score in that game that Harwich was able to score. and picked up the loss. And now an opportunity for the Braves to pin another L column on him right here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Matt Shaw will go back to first base after the Braves himself had a meeting in their dugout with the hitters coming up and the base runner Shaw. Although Shaw has been thrown out tonight by the catcher Ruiz, I guarantee you that's not going to make him any more hesitant to try to swipe a bag over at first. The batter is Hurley, who we're still waiting on the big hit to come from. Did single his last time up. But an extra base hit here could potentially give the Braves their first lead of the night, as the Bravos, who have been in the hole since the 2nd inning, look to come from behind and steal another game here at Doran Park.
And when your pitching is as good as it is, again, limiting this Hyannis offense to just 1 run through 8, 2 runs may just be enough.
Shaw just barely in on a throw over, but the ball trickles away from the first baseman in Janis as he stays there.
And that was a tough break right there because I believe that hit Shaw. And if it doesn't, likely rolls past Janis and into foul ground. Not only that, but with the pickoff play in motion right there, Hurley did show bunt, so they now know what the rule play is here for the Braves.
Hurley squaring, Shaw is going, he pulls back, the throw is not in time, and Matt Shaw has stolen second base, and is a runner in scoring position once again, with still nobody out in the inning.
And you said it, he was ready to go there at second base, and I think the play was on for Hurley just to show bunt to try and make this a little bit more difficult for the catcher and Ruiz. He pulled back to take the ball. The ball skipped in on a hop to the shortstop Patelli, and Shaw was able to slide in easily to the back corner of that second base bag.
Now I'll ask you this, do you think the bunt could be on with a
Absolutely.
runner on second base?
You have your 3-hitter up at the plate, so it's tough to say, but again, he has been struggling, and they need this run right now, and you have a great hitter in Brito on deck.
Shaw is on second. Hurley is squaring and gets it down. It's a beauty, third base side. The pitcher fields. His throw is not in time. It is an infield single for Jack Hurley, and the Braves have runners on the corners. Nobody out in the inning in one of the most dangerous lineups in the Bravos lineup, and Chris Brito coming to bat.
A perfectly executed drag bunt right there. A nice play by the pitcher in Driver coming off the mound with the bare hand pickup, and the throw over to Nushida, the second baseman, covering first base, was on line. He made a nice stretch as well, but Hurley, we mentioned the speed. He runs well. Big spot now, because not only the go-ahead run at third base, insurance at first, and you have Brito coming to the plate, who is just ready to come up with that big hit. Looking for a pitch over the heart of the plate, as pitchers seemingly had not want to attack him so far the last couple of weeks.
The Braves' bats have been stifled all night. They've scattered 6 hits, all singles. Can big bad Chris Brito come up with an extra base hit and give the Braves their first lead of the night here in the 8th? He was looking to do so on that swing, but came up empty.
Got a fastball right there and took a big rip at it. It was just a little bit late. And this is interesting right here. The Harborhawks playing their middle infielders just about halfway. And again, that's an important run over there at third. Maybe just trying to read it by ear and see if Shaw goes on contact.
Well, if you pull him in, that would allow Hurley to steal second base with ease. So I bet they're keeping him there to prevent the stolen base. But a hard-hit ground ball hit right at one of the two of them. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Hurley is the runner on first. He reached on a bunt. Shaw is over there at third. He reached on the error that drove in the run off of the glove of the third baseman in Jeb. Chris Brito on the night 0 for 3, which is uncharacteristic from a guy like this. Popped to third, struck out swinging, and grounded out to second base. Another big cut. This one's fouled back to the screen, and he's in the hole 0-2.
And generally, when a hitter goes behind 0-2, things get difficult, but this is where Chris Brito thrives. We've seen him several times fall behind with 2 strikes and work it back full, if not then for a walk on top of that. But you got a tough right-hander on the mound in Driver, who's an uncomfortable pitcher to face. Yet Brito just looking to put a ball in play right here.
So it's kind of a halfway for the Hyannis middle infield now. The 0-2 pitch coming here to Brito. The runner is going. It's a swing and a miss. Standing up is Hurley, but that is a big strikeout by Driver to get the first out of this nightmare 8th inning for Hyannis.
And he went with that fastball one more time and was able to blow it by Brito. Again, Hurley taking off right there. No throw from the catcher, and Ruiz just tried to pump fake again with that runner on third base and Shaw. Don't want to risk it. So now a big spot here for Peck. They may be putting him on, which is the case. So although the base is up for Josh Moylan, and Doesn't get much better than this, Calvin, in terms of a homecoming for the SaberDogs make that the Braves first baseman.
The first baseman, number 32, out of East Carolina, Josh Moylan.
So you couldn't have written it any better. John Peck reaches on first on the intentional walk. The bases are loaded for Bravos, I should say, as the only returner from the 2021 West Division champions in his debut back at Doran Park has a chance to give the Braves their first lead of the night. Nowhere to put Josh Moylan, who laced a deep fly ball into center field his last time up. The first pitch, breaking ball by Moylan for strike one. Josh is a strikeout guy. He punched out twice already tonight. And, of course, that center field fly ball. Also not the fleetest of foot, so a guy who could bounce into a double play. Looking to lift a ball here, 1-0. Fouled off. It's quickly gone to 0-2.
You got to really give Driver a lot of credit right here. Things were not going his way, and he's been able to quickly get ahead of Brito, struck him out on 3 pitches, and then quickly gets ahead of Moylan. And if he could get out of this inning, that gives Hyannis a ton of momentum heading into the top of the ninth.
Josh Moylan in his return to Doran Park, trying to break through to give the Braves their first lead of the night. The 0-2 from Driver. Outside as the plot thickens, 1-2.
In a really close spot. I think the intention right there was to miss off the plate to try and get Moylan to chase. A really good job spitting on it. See if he goes back with that breaking ball. We've only seen it a couple times from him tonight so far in 2-strike spots.
Josh, a guy who hit a $180 last season for the Braves, but really turned it on in the second half of the season. Looking to start off on the right foot tonight in his return in 2022. In a battle right now as Jay Driver is feeding the strike zone, and Moylan fouls one back.
And there was that breaking ball running in off the plate. Again, Moylan just able to get a piece to spoil it.
Driver, no pun intended, in the big-time driver seat right now. A couple of pitches to play with, up 1-2. Evan Slight waits on deck, but it's up to Josh Moylan to try to drive a run in. With 2 runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs in this inning. Here is the 1-2. In the dirt, good lead by Moylan. It's 2-2.
A really good lead right there, especially seeing the breaking ball up at about the letter height on the pitch before that, able to lay off of that one. And again, the plot thickens, as you said earlier here for Driver. Has to make a quality pitch, of course, as there's nowhere to put Moylan.
A base hit of any kind scores at least 1 run. A fly ball deep into the outfield will do the job. Here's the 2-2. Fastball up out of the zone, and Josh Moylan swings through it. Talk about a big-time pitch when your back's against the wall. Jay Driver delivers, and now it is up to Evan Slight to try to bring home the go-ahead run in the form of Matt Shaw from third.
And really good work from Driver right there, taking ownership of both the top portion of the strike zone and the bottom portion of the strike zone, and then some, going down out of the zone with the breaking ball the pitch before, up out of the strike zone after that, able to induce the chase for Moylan. And now with 2 down, the infield gets to play all the way back. There's a force at all bases as Ruiz has a conversation with Driver. And if you're Evan Slight, you've struck out twice tonight after you picked up that single in the second inning. Another guy who's due for a big, big base knock.
Slight tonight has struck out twice. He also singled in the first. Bases loaded with Braves. Tie game, bottom of the 8th. First pitch for a strike. This inning started on a broken bat single by Carson Roccaforte. He stole second. Matt Shaw punched a ground ball off of the glove of Jeb, the third baseman, into right field. Jack Hurley reached on a bunt single. And then John Peck, with the runners on second and third, was intentionally walked. 0-2.
Got another fastball, middle third of the plate right there. Took a good rip at it, just fouling into the glove of Ruiz. Now Driver has him in the palm of his hand. Again, could go with anything he wants. We saw him go with the slider a couple of times to Moylan before striking him out with the fastball. We'll see if he triples up with the heater right here instead.
Can Jay Driver Houdini his way out of this inning? Struck out Moylan. Can he do the same to Slight? Here comes the 0-2. Punch foul. He stays alive.
And he almost took that out of the glove of the catcher Ruiz right there. This was in off the plate on the hands. Just was able to fist it foul. Almost hit Bryce Eblin on the on-deck circle over on the third base side. But a really good job of spoiling that one. And we'll see again. Driver's been confident with that heater if he wants to go with it for a fourth time in a row.
A base hit would certainly score 2 runs, the 0-2. Not near the zone 1 and 2.
And something the Braves have done a good job on, especially the last couple of nights, is battling with 2 strikes here. Again, with 2 down, it has to be a base hit to do the job.
Slight, who had 48 RBIs for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers this season, has 1 this season for the Braves, looking to extend that number right here. The pitch just missed off the inside part of the plate. All the Hyannis Harbor Hawk players in the dugout and the Hyannis Harbor Hawk umpires in the stands tonight thought that was strike 3.
And that was an incredible take right there because we mentioned the late run on that fastball. This was in off the plate, maybe was close to catching that inner third of the plate. But a good take from Slight either way.
The 2-2. On the outside corner, he caught him looking strike 3. Jay Driver is absolutely nails out of the Hyannis bullpen. He coughs up the lead on an unearned run, but the Braves feel like they could have taken the lead in that inning. Driver leaves the Braves on the doorstep. This game is tied as we head to the top of the 9th. Do not go anywhere because this game is getting better by the second. 1-1 your score, 1 inning to play. This game will not go extra innings on the Bourne Braves television network. Feeling lucky? Head over to the 50-50 table at Doran Park and play everyone's favorite ballpark game of chance. A different list of prizes are available every home game, and of course, half the pot is always up for grabs. Take it from me, my family played the 50-50 last season and won a gift certificate to a local ice cream shop, and I can tell you firsthand, it was delicious. Check out the list of prizes over at the 50-50 table next to the concession stand and play the 50-50 today, because I'm sure there's a prize for you.
For the first time since 2019, the Cape Cod League All-Star Game is back. On Saturday, July 23rd at 6:45, the best players on Cape will come together in Wareham and duke it out in an East Division versus West Division clash. In 2021, the Braves had a league-leading 9 All-Stars, but they weren't able to shine in the mid-season showcase. But now the game is back, and it will include your favorite Braves stars, as well as the best talent from around the Cape.
Time to go back to the park. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Oh, we got a good finish coming here from Doran Park. The Braves lead the bases loaded after tying the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. And this game is a 1-1 tie as we head to the 9th. And Nelson Berkwich is back out for his 3rd inning of work out of the Braves' pen. Has looked really good up to this point in 1-2-3-8. Trying to do the same against the bottom third of this Hyannis order. As Ruiz slides in for his 4th at-bat of the night. Couple of ground outs and a walk to his ledger.
And you got to give Jay Driver a ton of credit. We mentioned it, had a really tough outing, was pinned with the loss against Harwich after allowing 3. That was an inning that, of course, he did not want to allow the tying run to score, but was able to stop the inning from getting even worse, of course, stopping the bleeding and keeping this game tied and giving his team a chance to take the lead here in the top of the 9th inning.
Driver was solid. Berkwich has been just as fine for the Bravos, who is continuing to fill up the strike zone like he's doing inventory control at his local supermarket. The count is 0-2 on the catcher they call Pancho Ruiz. Here it comes. Ruiz granted time before that 0-2 offering.
It's the second time we've seen that tonight. Now one on both ends. Saw it plenty of times the other night.
0-2, foul tip into the mid, hung on to by Leach, and is one retired here in the 9th.
That's now 3 punch-outs in a row here for the left-hander out of Vandy, and he's, as you said, has been nails out of the pen. And again, this pitching staff in general tonight, I think you could argue it's their best effort so far this season. If they, of course, assuming Berkwich can get through this inning, 1 run through 9, you'd really hope that you could come out with a win with.
Especially going into this game knowing that there's only 4 pitchers available for the Bravos, and they've only used 3. as Mason Pelio, the flame-throwing right-hander, continues to work in the Braves bullpen. But you'd like to keep him there because that means Berkwich is doing this, climbing ahead of batters 0-2, and he's done it again to Dominic Patelli.
Again, running in off the plate to Patelli, who has been a playmaker tonight, particularly back in that 7th inning where he singled and stole a base. But Berkwich trying to retire him right here.
The 0-2 outside for ball 1. So Berkwich, a rare lefty for the Braves. A mainly right-handed pitching staff, but the Vanderbilt Commodore has looked sharp here in his second appearance. That one's just misses as this strike zone continues to be hitter-friendly. And the count will even on Patelli, 2-2.
You can see a big smile on the face of Berkwich right there. Really good spot with that slider.
Working with pace, the 2-2. Spoiled away. That's a common theme we've seen. Whether it be the Braves or even Hyannis tonight in this game, every pitcher who has come to the mound has worked with some tempo. It is a catch-and-throw type night as we play here in the 9th. 2 hours and 40 minutes after we started. It is a full count to Dominic Patelli, who has driven in the lone run for Hyannis tonight. That was a sac fly, which seemed like weeks ago, all the way back in the 2nd inning. Can Berkwich keep him off the bases? This is a big payoff pitch. Slider that just curls across home plate and freezes Patelli in the batter's box. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nelson Berkwich, and 2 are quickly down as he looks to make this a very uneventful top of the 9th.
You can make it 4 in a row, and he's just going back and forth, swinging, looking, trying to seal the deal with Matsuloa coming to the plate here with 2 down in the 9th now. And again, that slider has just been tight so far, especially to left-handers.
Matsuloa 0 for 2 on the evening, did take ball 4. This one comes inside and just clips his front shoulder. As the Harbor Hawks do have a base runner in the 9th. And here comes the ever-dangerous Mitch Jebb, who is 0 for 4 on the evening. But that is uncharacteristic, as he hits for average as good as anybody else in this Cape Cod League.
And that's a tough break for Berkwich. Again, has been living with that fastball inside the left-handers, and that one just nicked the front shoulder of Matsuloa.
Squaring to bunt is Jebb. He pulls back, as that could be just to see what the Braves' defense was due, as Matsuloa already has a stolen base in this game for Hyannis. It will be a real gutsy call to try to put him in scoring position, because Hyannis is really down to their last out in this game. This game will not go extra innings, so if Hyannis wants to win, they have to get Matsuloa home from first base. But on the other side of that, a tie is much, much better than a loss. So it's towing that line of being conservative versus aggressive, trying to get that go-ahead run home from first.
And what was interesting is Shaw, the third baseman, he was playing back by 2 or 3 steps behind the bag right there. So I think what Jebb was trying to do was bunt for a base hit, of course, showed late trying to drag. What that does do now is Shaw has to play even with the bag. The shortstop Peck is ranging well up the middle. There is a wide open left side of the infield for Jebb, who controls the bat well.
Jebb, who finished 5th in the Big Ten this season with 78 hits, is 0 for 4 tonight, squaring once again and pulling back and watching ball 2 fly across home plate.
And I'd be really surprised if he again is trying to bunt for a hit right here. 3 consecutive times, has yet to attempt at one. Or excuse me, did foul one off. But again, now the Braves know what the game plan is. We'll see if it's still on.
Not squaring as he slaps one to second. Here comes Eblin on the run. He throws, and this game is going to the bottom of the 9th, tied 1-1. The Braves cannot lose it, but oh boy, can they win it, and if they do, it will be the fun way. 3 more outs left in this ballgame. Braves trying to sweep this 3-game homestand on the Born Braves television network.
The Born Braves organization is looking for families willing to host 1 or 2 players for the Cape League season. It generally runs from the first week in June to early August, and the bond between many host families and their players extend beyond the summer and form lifelong friendships. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, visit bornbraves.org.
Braves fans living on the Cape far from Doran Park? Too far of a drive to make the trip west on any given night? Well, don't worry, because the Braves are coming to you. The Bravos' full slate of games includes trips to all East destinations, including Orleans, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, and Yarmouth, as well as West Division road trips to Cotuit, Hyannis, down south to Falmouth, and off Cape to Wareham. So wherever you are located on Cape Cod, the Braves will be in your area and are a can't-miss family fun activity. To see the Bravos' full schedule, head over to our website, bornbraves.org, and come join the fun.
This one is going down to the wire. Now back to Born Braves Baseball.
A game can't be going down to the wire more than it is tonight here at Doran Park. We are headed to the bottom of the ninth inning, tied 1-1. Braves have trailed all night long, but tied this game up in the bottom of the eighth on an error by the third baseman, Jeb. It'll be 8-9-1. Scheduled to hit for the Bravos is Eblin, Leach, and Rockefort. But a good thing about this no extra innings rule is all defensive replacements go out the window, as Jack Duffy, who has no business of stepping behind home plate and catching, the Cape's leader in batting average, has picked up a bat, and he is on deck. Can Eblin get the table set? He is 1 for 2 in the night, a single, a walk, and a stolen base. First pitch swinging, fouls off Jay Driver's first offering. You can't say enough about the effort of Driver with his back against the wall. Braves loaded the bases with just one out in the eighth. And Driver, with back-to-back strikeouts of Moylan and Slight, kept Matt Shaw stranded at third base. And now is worked ahead of Eblin, 0-2.
This is going to be a tough spot for Eblin. His last time up was able to work that walk in the seventh inning and then steal himself into scoring position. But is really going to have to battle here. And again, giving Driver some time to rest. We'll see if we see the Driver we saw in his first 2 outings of the year instead of the one from his one the other night against Harwich.
0-2. This is on the right side and through a base hit. The light-hitting Bryce Eblin delivers a single to start this inning, and the Braves have a speedy runner on base. And here comes the Cape Cod League hitter and batting average, Jack Duffy, to home plate.
And the first multi-hit effort of the season for Eblin, and again, finds that 4-hole, which has been his friend so far this season. It looks like we're going to see maybe a pinch runner here for Eblin, who does run well. Or maybe it's just Landers wanting to have a conversation with Duffy at the plate. But either way, a really good spot right now. As this is interesting right now. Over on the third base side, Duffy and Eblin having a conversation with Landers to stop play. Which you don't see too much very often, but maybe just going through some strategy right here. Maybe they're going to put a play on.
We've seen this a couple of times this season. Coach Landers wanting to talk to the guys due up in the inning, as well as a base runner. A leadoff single by Bryce Eblin, which we cannot understate how massive that is. The Braves to get a runner on base immediately. The Bravos have already guaranteed themselves a point tonight, and have already guaranteed 2 things. They will stay in second place regardless of the outcome, and they'll pick up another point against Cotuit, who has already lost tonight 5-3 to YD. The question is, can they pick up 1 point, or can they pick up 2 points? Because a walk-off win against the large contingent of Braves fans who have stuck around and have been very vocal all night long would be the absolute cherry on top to what has been a very successful homestand for the Braves.
And again, you have Jack Duffy coming to the plate, who controls the bat as better as anyone. As we're now going to see a meeting on the mound from the Hyannis side of things. So,
and a point to the bullpen by Eric Beatty. The Hyannis manager signals the end of the night for Jay Driver, who is responsible for Bryce Eblin on first base. Add some extra butter to that popcorn, because this game is getting more exciting by the minute. A new pitcher coming in here for Hyannis. We'll tell you who it is on the other side. Tie game 1-1, bottom of the ninth. Leadoff runner is on first when we come back on the Born Braves Television Network.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
This is Braves outfielder Jack Duffy from Polk State College. Go Braves.
And here is that man, Jack Duffy, coming to home plate as the Braves look for their first walk-off win of the season. Bryce Eblin singled to start this inning, and that chase Jay Driver as Hyannis goes back to the bullpen and brings in a guy with a pretty interesting story.
It's going to be Jordy Allard, the right-hander out of Northeastern, and again this year transferring to D1 as a grad student. 4-3 record with a 2.16 ERA, 58 strikeouts, and 50 innings of work. Make that walk just 9 batters in that span. So if you're Eric Beatty right now, this is your guy. And again, tough task because you have Duffy, the league-leading hitter, coming to the plate, and then the lineup flips over once again to Roccaforte and Shaw.
The pitcher in Allard started his career at Division II powerhouse Southern New Hampshire University, then transferred and played 3 seasons for Division III Babson before making the full circle up to the Division I level, where he was stoned this year for the Huskies of Northeastern. Needs to bring that dominance to the Cape because the winning run for the Braves is on first base in a game Hyannis cannot win, but they can certainly lose. Jack Duffy, who hit .417 to this point in the Cape, is the batter, fresh off the Braves bench as he hits as a pinch hitter. Trying to bring home Bryce Eblin, one of the fastest guys on the Braves roster, who takes his lead over on first base, already with a stolen base to his name tonight. Peck squares and gets it down back to the pitcher. Fielding it is Allard. His throw is in time. But Peck, Duffy, maybe as a decoy, to get a base hit, lays down a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt, and the runner is now on second base for the top of the Bravos order, and here comes Carson Roccaforte.
And that was almost self-defense right there, as this was a fastball in off the plate as he was jumping out of the way, was able to get it down, and a good one indeed, which makes that even more impressive. But now, of course, with Eblin at second base, he was in scoring position back in the 7th inning. We mentioned it then, we'll mention it now. He has such good speed, a base hit of any source to the outfield. Very likely wins this ball game, and not a better opportunity for a guy who needs a big knock than Carson Roccaforte right now.
Delivered a broken bat single in the 8th inning to start the Braves rally and score the Bravos' only run of the night. His job is not to score a run, instead produce a run, as Eblin is on second base.
And if you're Allard, you can't stop yourself from thinking about the man on deck and Matt Shaw, who is seeing beach balls right now at the plate.
Roccaforte, who was a clutch hitter, a first-team selection in the Sun Belt this season for the University of Louisiana, has been off to a slow start in the Cape under the Mendoza line, but has climbed above it tonight with a 1-for-4 effort. Can he get the hit the Braves needed all night long to take their first lead of the evening and steal a game from Hyannis? The pitch. This is skied foul. Going back to the screen is the catcher Ruiz, but it will get out of play. A strike nonetheless, though, for the pitcher Allard, and it's 1-2.
And this is a big pitch coming up right here for Roccaforte because, of course, plain and simple, you would rather face Shaw with 2 down instead of 1 down and an extra runner on base. And again, Roccaforte's a guy who's put the ball in play a lot here on his short tenure in the Cape. So that's the good news here with 2 strikes. There is a wide open hole on the right side of the infield between the second baseman in Nishida and the shortstop in McKinney, more towards up the middle instead of the 4 hole.
Braves looking to walk it off for the first time this season. The 1-2 pitch coming to Roccaforte. Slapped softly into right field. Going over there is Matuli. He's got it. Eblin tagging from second to third. He slides in as the throw is cut off. And the winning run is 90 feet away, albeit with 2 outs. But what a moment it would be for Mr. Do-Everything for the Bourne Braves in Matt Shaw.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they put him on right here just with how hot he has been. Again, reached base in his first 3 plate appearances with the 2 singles, and he has been hitting the ball like it's a beach ball, like we said earlier. And they're going to pitch to him right here, it looks like. So
you can put him on all you want, and even though the Cape numbers aren't eye-popping, you know what you're getting in Jack Hurley, who waits on deck. First pitch to Shaw, misses inside. And there has been a very vocal Hyannis crowd here at Doran Park, and they are unhappy with that call to start this at-bat.
And not only that, but the third base dugout, everyone on the railing right now. They've been loud on every pitch.
1-0, punch to the second baseman. Nishida has to make a play. On the run, he fires and throws over to first base. The Harbor Hawks survive, and this game ends in a 1-1 tie. The Braves just 1 hit away so many times tonight for winning this ball game. They scatter 7 hits, all singles, do not get an extra base hit. And this game fittingly ends in a tie as it was tight, wire to wire. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth with Max Tanzer and Calvin Christopher alongside with you. The Braves tie for the 3rd time this season. They do come back. It's not a win. It's a tie. Their 3rd of the year. They do gain a point on Kituitt, but the Braves, as exciting as this game was, needed 1 more hit.
Absolutely, and I think it's pretty fitting that we finished in a tie. If you look at the offensive rankings for these 2 teams, they're almost identical to each other. As you mentioned, the Braves were just half a game above this Hyannis team coming into tonight. And again, you look back at the opportunities with runners in scoring position. You had the bases loaded opportunity back in the 8th. You had the go-ahead winning run 90 feet away with 2 outs in the 9th inning. The pitching was just absolutely tremendous. We said it earlier on the broadcast, but this is without a doubt the best effort that the pitching staff as a total has put together. 9 innings, 1 run. You expect to win that game 100% of the time. Just an unfortunate break. Of course, Good was very good tonight.
Yes,
we knew that was coming out of the gate. 5 innings of shutout baseball. And sometimes you just got to tip your cap. This Hyannis pitching staff pitched their tail off as well.
If you told the Hyannis manager in Eric Beattie that his starter would get you 5 runs, 5 innings, not allowing a run and tie Good, he would think for sure his Harbor Hawks would win. You flip the coin to the other side. You say you get 3 innings on a night where there was only 4 pitchers available. 3 innings each from Boxrucker, Keener, and Berkwish, and combined they allow just a single run. Scott Landers says his team wins this ball game. The reality is nobody won this ball game. It's a 1-1 tie. It's a little anticlimactic, but hey, both teams will take a point, and the Braves look to get back in the win column, and they'll have 2 opportunities to do just that tomorrow for a doubleheader against the Brewster Whitecaps. That's a 2:30 start, an afternoon. Twin Bill from Stony Brook Field will catch you there with Before the Bravos at 2:10. When we come back here on the Bourne Braves broadcast, we'll wrap things up and we'll throw it down to Ethan Frank. We'll be talking to our player of the game. Don't miss that. This is Bourne Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Television Network.
Want to look like a Bravo? Well, there is one place where you can find the official gear of the Bourne Braves, and that is at the Bourne Braves Pro Shop. Open during every home game and located on the ground level of the press box, you can find Braves hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and more, all in just one place. Wear the same gear as the players and rep the Braves wherever you go. Visit the Braves Pro Shop today and let the rest of the Cape know you're repping the Bravos.
Make sure to follow the Braves on Twitter at Bourne Braves for all. What's better than a summer night? A summer night with the Bourne Braves.
It was a fun one tonight at Doran Park. Both teams feel like they could have won it, but neither team did. A 1-1 final here at Doran, in a big part why the Hyannis Harbor Hawks were only able to score 1 run was Nelson Berkwish. He was really dealing tonight. We'll say goodbye to you. We'll see you tomorrow in Brewster. For my partner, Max Tanzer, I'm Calvin Christoforo. Let's see what Nelson had to say after his performance. He's down on the sideline with Ethan Frank.
Thank you very much, Calvin. Here with Braves relief pitcher Nelson Berkwish. Nelson, just your 2nd appearance for the Braves so far this season, but what was really working well for you tonight?
I mean, it was I just try to simplify my stuff and just try to compete with every pitch. And I mean, the slider was working, changeup at times was on, and then my fastball command, and I was just trying to get ahead in the count and compete, get outs.
Coming out of the bullpen, how different is that when, you have a guy on base when you come in versus coming in a clean inning? Both, what you're mentally trying to prepare for and obviously going through your physical routine as well.
I mean, physically, it's pretty much the same. You just try to lock it in the bullpen. But I would say mentally, I mean, it's just even more you got to focus and throw strikes right away and then kind of account for a runner on base, but also not try to do too much. Try to fill up the zone, get ahead and count, get count advantage.
With a tie like this, what is the morale like around the team? Obviously you want to win, but it's better than a loss. So, what is a tie like in this scenario?
I mean, it's tough. Yeah, we missed a few opportunities to score, but I mean, we held them to 1 run, so that was a positive. So I feel like you just take the positives and move on and try to, you use these moments later in the season to try to win ball games that are tight like that.
All right, that's Nelson Berkwich, Braves relief pitcher. 3 scoreless innings in relief tonight out of the Bravos pen. That'll do it for us tonight. Nelson, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That'll do it for us, and we will see you tomorrow in Brewster with a 2:30 start time.